So right now is probably one of the most important times to start an online store so you can start selling directly to your customers. Hi, my name is Hogan, and in this video I'm going to be showing you step by step how to create an e-commerce website using WordPress. Now what's special about this video is that we'll also be making it multilingual so you can reach new audiences, and you'll also be able to get order notifications on your phone as well, so you can fulfill your order. You can also manage your store from your phone. Now this video is also perfect for freelancers if you want to learn how to create an online store and sell it as a service, like a lot of people who are following my videos have done already. Then this is the perfect video for you guys to get started. So let's jump into the computer and I'll show you exactly how to do it. So what's really special about this video is that I'll be showing you how to make it multilingual. So your customers can come onto your website and they can click a switch, and then it's going to turn into a multilingual website, and you can also translate it into any language that you want, right? So if the translations aren't correct, so it's automatic translations now, if it's not correct, you can also edit with the visual builder. So essentially what happens is that it will automatically translate your whole entire website, but you can also come here and manually review each of the different sections on the website. So this is a really special video because now you can actually reach even a wider audience, and not only you can actually get higher conversions, because sometimes customers might not be 100% good at English. They might be they might know Chinese, Spanish, different languages around the world. So this is really special, and you can also charge more for your clients for this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is translate it back into English. Now this is also dropshipping compatible, so if you don't have any products to sell yet, then this website and tutorial, you'll also be able to create a dropshipping website. So I'll be talking about it briefly in the video, but I'll be making a separate video to cover that, right? So this is an actual real website where someone can come here and order directly on your website. Okay, so I've got the demo, the link to the demo website down below, so you can actually do a test order, and here you can also do a track your orders. So your customers can come in here and track their orders instantly. So once you've shipped the order out, you will set them up with a tracking ID, and let's say for example we'll put in my email here, okay, like this, gmail.com, and we can click on track. All right, and here you'll set up the tracking, right? So you'll be choosing your provider, whichever one that you have sent it with, then you'll enter in the tracking number, and then people can click on track, and then they can track their orders from whichever provider that you've set in. Okay, so this one is just a test, so obviously you can't really see what it is, but here your customers can log in. They don't even have to log in, they just need to put in their order ID and their email, and they can track their order, right? So you can literally sell anything with this website as well. So everything's going to be drag and drop, and it's super customizable. So I do want to say that this video might not be for you though, because sometimes it's like so customizable and it's so amazing, but then sometimes some people might be looking for something that's a lot more simpler, and in that case you might go with Shopify, right? So with WordPress is one of the most popular platforms in the world. Now it's my personal preference, and a lot of people do like it. It powers over 30% of the internet. Because it's so customizable, sometimes it can get a little bit overwhelming. So if you're not really sure if this is for you or not for you, then just continue watching the intro, and I'll show you everything that I'll cover in this tutorial, right? So you're literally creating like a $1,000, $3,000 website. You can come here and edit the text however you like. So that basically means that you have total control over anything. So if you can sell anything as well, you can go to styling, you can go to background here, you can change it to a gradient background, you can change it to a video background. So if you have like a product video, you can create a product video and display it here as well. And you can really customize anything that you want, right? So you can change the link to anything that you want, right? So scrolling down, I generally like to zoom out when I create my websites. So here you can click the text and you can drag it around effortlessly. Let's just drag it over here, right? If you want to move your products around, you can drag it around as well and move it around, right? So as you can see, everything is sort of like in modules, and you can also click into the module, right? And you can also change the layout if you want to as well. So you've got so many different settings here as well. You can hide the price, you can show the add to cart. It's so customizable and so amazing. And the theme, if you are building a website with WordPress already, this is an amazing theme as well. So if you want to change like the products, so you might want to sell a different product here, you can change the image really easily, something like that, insert, and click on the background here. Let's change the color to something like this, right? So it's so easy to update as well. And if you're creating websites for your clients, they can come in here and edit it themselves. So then basically you can move on and maybe get some more clients, and then maybe help out your client a little bit on the side. But then that can really allow you to expand your business as well as a freelancer, right? Now, if we're scrolling down over here, I'll also show you how to create an opt-in form. So with this builder, it's really easy to create an opt-in form, right? Because we have an opt-in module, right? So here's the opt-in module, and you can drag it anywhere on your website. So here you can select, different styles for the opt-in. You can really configure it. And then for this tutorial, I'll show you how to link it with MailChimp. So MailChimp is one of the biggest sort of email marketing platforms where you can collect emails. And basically it's so important for a online business to have to connect it to email. Then you can collect the emails, and whenever you have a sale, you can do like an email blast, and that's really gonna make you a lot of money as well. So here I'm just going to delete this module, right? But you can add it anywhere on your website. And here we've got the social links, you've got important links down here, and you can also customize the footer as well as the header section. So you've got over a dozen different header layouts as well. And here we've got our payment icons. They can also subscribe here as well to email list. And let's click on save. And I want to show you sort of a live transaction with this website because it's really, really cool. Then I'll also show you how the transaction works on mobile as well. So scrolling down here, so this is a product. This is actually my product that I added in. I took a photo of it and I uploaded it as well on my website here. And here we can click on add to cart. And here is your cart section. So your customers can view cart. They can also add it to their wish list if they don't want to purchase it now, which happens a lot of times. So here they can add the quantity and things like that. You can select, and I'll show you how to set up the shipping. So you could do like express shipping, flat rate shipping, free shipping with conditions. And here is a coupon code for myself. So I made one for myself, like 19.99 off, okay, because I don't want to pay that much. Apply. And that's going to apply the coupon. So let's proceed to checkout. So over here, if you do want to come here and do a test transaction, you can just put in the code over here. The number. And here I've just pre-populated the stuff over here. Okay, put in the number like that. Let's do an expiry date. Let's do 23 and maybe 123. Okay, so don't use PayPal for the test, okay, because I haven't set that up to be a test mode, but we can place the order. Okay, so the order is complete and it says, "Thank you, Mary, for your order. Your order is now processing." Okay, so they can go back to the home page, or if you allow, then they can also create an account page where they can come in here and track their orders and check their downloads and update like the information, things like that. But you'll also be getting the customer will also get a notification, right? "Thank you for your order. Your order is now being processed," right? And this is everything that they've got. And they'll also get a invoice as well, because invoices are really important, because sometimes you might have like business customers or someone might ask you for an invoice, and they can download the invoice as well and claim it for like tax or whatever they want to do with it. Here you also get your own notification. So this is your notification that you get, and then you can ship the order out to them. And it's just really, really amazing. So you've also got a dashboard area where you can track your sales and revenue, and you can manage the orders on the back as well. So this is the back end of the website. So it also has a very, very advanced back end for your website where you can manage your products, add in products. So over here, we can go to add new products. And here is the actual product that we've actually bought. Okay, so you can add different types of products as well. So for example, if you wanted to add like did we accidentally duplicate that? Hopefully not. Here you can add a simple product, a grouped product. You could also add an external or affiliate product, for example, like an Amazon affiliate link, okay, that you can put in here. And then once people click it, then it'll be redirected to Amazon. Okay, so you can get like a commission for that. For the variable product, here you can set in like different variations. For example, on our store, we do have a t-shirt variation, which I'll show you how to add in as well. So here you've also got a product filter, which is really cool because you can press it and you'll just select the products with that specific color. and we can click into that. Right, so once we click into that, the customer can view the product and things like that. They can also zoom in. You can also add additional product images. I haven't added that in for this demo, but here they can add it to carts. Oops, they can also select a different color and that will change color. Let's add that one to cart as well. And let's go check out on our mobile phone. So here is my mobile. Okay, sorry guys, I think I forgot to record the screen, so I'm doing it again. Now, this is the product on mobile, right? And your customers can just add that to cart, right? And hopefully that's added in. Click on the cart here. Let's click on checkout. So I'm just showing you because this is a real website that your customers can order from after you finish this tutorial. So let's put in an email. So I'm going to set in my email here like that. Click on next, scroll down. Okay, so fill in all the details. Then we're going to put in the test dummy credit card number. Okay, and we can just put in a random expiry one as well. Okay, then we can click on place order. All right, so that's going to take a few seconds for that to process. Okay, so that's your order notification. So you can manage your orders from your phone. So we can click into that order and we can begin fulfillment, right? So here we can just click on begin fulfillment. We can add in our tracking. So you can set in your carrier, right? If you don't have the specific carrier here, you can also do a manual one as well. So once we set that in, we can just put the number. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then what we need to do is click on add, and then we can mark order complete. So once that order is complete, your customer will get a email confirmation with the tracking ID and everything like that. So here you can also issue a refund. So sometimes that does happen. So you can also issue a refund from your mobile phone as well. And here, what we could do is click on back, and back over here, we can also track our sales. So your clients or your customers, they don't have to log into their website all the time. They can track their sales and manage everything from their phone. And that way it's just a lot easier for everyone involved. If we click on the products here, you can also edit the stock levels and, set in the descriptions and also set in the prices from the phone as well. So it's just super, super amazing. You can also click over here, settings. And if you want like notifications of like new orders, then you can switch it on and stuff like that. But that is pretty much it. So let's get back into the computer, right? So this is a really, really advanced e-commerce website. You've got everything that you need, and it's just really, really amazing because it's so customizable. And you can also customize like your secondary header as well, just in case you want to do like free shipping for $50 or anything like that. I just put in dropshipping compatible, and you could do like free shipping for, let's do $50 or more or something like that. Okay, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to close it and not save it. Okay, then I think that is pretty much it. You can also add a blog. You also have a mega menu. You've also got the search function, so your products can be found using the search. And yeah, I think that is pretty much it. So if you guys are ready, then I'm ready. I'm going to show you exactly how to build a really, really amazing e-commerce website, online store. And this is literally going to cost like $3,000 if you were to hire someone to build the entire website for you. But today, I'll be showing you for free. Obviously, there are some costs involved and, things that you might need, and I'll discuss that next. Okay, so hopefully you guys are really excited to get started, but I do want to go through exactly what we need to create our online store. So the first thing that you'll need is a domain name. So your domain name is essentially just your website's address. For example, your business name, your brandname.com. The second thing you'll need is a hosting account. So hosting is essentially just like a virtual server that's on the internet that stores your website's files, like the content, the text, the images, and things like that, so that people all around the world can access your website and they can buy things from your website. Okay, so the third thing we need is going to be WordPress. So WordPress is a content management system, and basically, in short, that's sort of like an online software that allows you to create a blog, create a website, create an e-commerce website without needing to learn how to code. And actually, WordPress powers over 30% of the internet, and it's what I personally use for my website and what I recommend. So the fourth thing that we're going to be needing is WooCommerce. Now WooCommerce is a plugin, the most popular e-commerce plugin for WordPress that adds the sort of online payment gateway, the e-commerce functionality, and things like that for our website. Then the fifth thing that we need is a theme and a builder. So this is going to be included in the description below, which I'll show you how to install everything later on. So you don't need to pay for a theme to get started, but you do have optional support and updates if you do want to buy that, right? So you don't have to pay that upfront at all. And obviously the sixth thing is I'm going to be showing you step by step how to create your online store for free. So to get started to create your own online store e-commerce website, it's going to be less than $100, which I really think it's going to be really, really amazing, because you're going to be saving thousands and thousands of dollars if you were to like hire an agency to do it for you, especially if you want them to add in all your products for you and build out your website how you want it. It's going to cost a lot of money. So I do want to also mention that the translation plugin, if you want to translate your website into different languages, for example, Chinese, Spanish, German, any language that you want, then there is a free trial for I think 2 weeks. But for the full version, I think it's like $99 every year. All right. So I do want to make it clear exactly, how much everything costs to get started, so you know exactly what you're getting yourself into. So to get started, we're going to get our domain and hosting first. So there's a discount link down below, and you can click that link, or you can just open up your browser, Google, and we're going to go to SiteGround to get our hosting as well as our domain. So you can go to siteground.com/go/Hogan and 70. So that's a discount affiliate link, and basically what that means is that if you do purchase through that link, I may get a commission for that, and essentially that just helps me to create free tutorials for you guys. But the main reason that I'm recommending SiteGround is because that we're creating an e-commerce website, and you need a sort of a really good host basically for your e-commerce website, since you have a lot of images and a lot of different plugins that you'll need. So you need your website to load really quickly, right? And SiteGround provides, excellent performance and excellent customer support, which is really, really necessary when you're creating your own online store. Okay, and you can also select sort of like the server location. So let's say if you're based in Australia, they have a server in Sydney as well. So that means your website's gonna load a lot quicker for your customers, right? So if you're in Asia, then they have like a data center in Singapore and things like that. So I'm on the Australian website right now, but you can select your region down here, and the price might be a little bit different in your region. I think in the United States it should be like $3.95 and $5.95, I think. Okay, so the main difference between the three different plans is the websites that you can create under the plan, right? So with the startup hosting plan, you can only create one website, right? With the Grow Big and the Go Geek, you can create unlimited websites, and essentially what that means is that you can create a website for yourself, your parents, for your friend, your family, and maybe like a few clients as well, all under one hosting account. Basically what that means is that you can save a lot of money by splitting the cost up and things like that. Okay, so you can create like any type of website, like a blog, just a normal business website, e-commerce store. It doesn't really matter which plan, but that's the main difference. And you also do get some additional features if you go for the Grow Big, for example, on-demand backups, we can check out speed boosting and staging as well. So you can read all these different features. But personally, what I recommend, if you're on a budget, then you can just easily go for the startup plan. And if you do want to upgrade later on, you can upgrade within the dashboard. Okay, so for this tutorial, I'm just going to select Grow Big because I do want to show you some of the features as well. So we're going to click on Get Plan. Okay, so you can click over here to register a new domain. If you already have a domain, let's say if you have one that is on GoDaddy or Namecheap or some other domain registrar, then you can enter in your domain that you've purchased and continue on with the hosting. Okay, so here I might do like e-commerce demo, and then you can select your sort of country specific domain name extension, right? So this is another benefit that I forgot to mention. So you can also choose like .com.au, .co.uk, or anything like that as well. But I'm just going to go for a .com, and that's what I recommend if you don't know which one to go for, because normally that's more trustworthy in terms of when your customer views your website and things like that. So here we can click on Proceed, and okay, sometimes that might not be available, so you might need to choose another one. I might just put in like 91. Okay, so we're going to click on proceed. Okay, so what you'll need to do is basically just fill in your email and set up a new password, as well as putting in your personal information, for example, your name, address, and things like that, as well as your credit card information to pay for your hosting and your domain name. And I'm gonna quickly do that, so we're gonna come back and show you the next step. So over here, you can adjust your plan again, and here for the data center, so what I recommend is selecting the data center which is closest to your audience. So for example, if I'm based in Australia, I'm going to select Sydney. If you're in the United States, then you go with US, etc. Okay, so here we're going to scroll down again, and for the period, so basically what I personally recommend is going for 12 months or longer. That way you're going to lock in the discount. So basically if we select 24 months, then that is going to bill you for this amount at this rate. Okay, so after this period is over, then it will renew at its regular rate, okay, which is shown over here. Okay, so personally what I recommend is going for 12 months or longer. That's just going to give you a bigger discount, right? So because I already have like 3 different accounts, I'm just going to select a trial account because I don't need this account anymore. Here we're going to scroll down, and for your domain privacy, this is basically going to help protect like your personal information which you filled in before, because by default people can actually search up your website's address and get your information, right? So if you want to hide that, this is going to prevent people from like spamming you and things like that. So you can select that, right? So the site scanner, you can get it as well, but obviously it's not necessary. Here we can scroll down. So here you can view your total and select I confirm. Okay, and if you want to receive some news and special offers, you can select this as well. Okay, so I'm not going to select that, and I'm just going to click on pay now. Okay, so once you've purchased, you can click on proceed to customer area, and sometimes you may need to log in again. So just log in with the email and just click on next, and then put in the password that you set in before and click on login. So this over here is your SiteGround dashboard. This is where you can control your website, your domain name, and your different services, as well as your billing and things like that. So if we click on websites over here, then you'll see your website added over here. Collaborations is essentially if you want to give access to someone else, right? If you have the Grow Big plan or above, you can set up people to sort of help manage your website and things like that. Like a web developer or designer, they can log in. Right, so services over here, you can manage your services here, and sometimes if you do want to select a different data center, you can update that over here. Domains, you can purchase like a new domain if you need one as well, right? And billing, you can control your billing over here, for example, your renewals, right? So you can still get the discounts as well if you want to renew for a longer term, right? And you'll just be charged like the difference, okay? So that is pretty much it for your dashboard area. Okay, so what I want to do is click on setup site. So over here, I'm going to click on skip and create an empty site. And then I'm not going to select the SG site scanner. Click on finish. Right, so that's going to take a few minutes to create your website. Okay, so right now we're all set and ready to go. So if you did purchase your domain name from somewhere else and you want to connect it with your SiteGround hosting, then I'll leave the link in the description below. That shows you how to connect like GoDaddy and also Namecheap to your SiteGround accounts. This is your name servers, right? So this is important. So what I also want to do is go back to my email, and also you want to verify your domain name. Okay, so click on the link over here and just verify that. To say that you own it and things like that. Scroll down and just verify that information. Okay, that's all good. I'm going to come back to my inbox as well as setting in the data preferences as well. Okay, and I'm not going to consent. I'm just going to save it. Okay, so that's done. I'm just going to close that and close that. And I think everything is good to go, right? So we're going to go over here, and we can click on manage site, or we can click on websites over here, and then we can click on site tools, and I want to show you how to install WordPress. Okay, so we can click on WordPress over here, install and manage, and then we're going to select WordPress. Okay, so here leave the installation path empty. This one should be automatically selected. I want to deselect the WordPress starter. Okay, we don't need that. And I want to set up my username. Okay, and then set in your password for your website. Okay, and then put in your email address. Like that, and then scroll down, and then we can click on install. Okay, so we can click on close for that one over there. So we can click over here to log into our panel area. So we can click into that, and that should pop out. And we're going to log into our website. Okay, so this is logged into your WordPress website, and this is the back end of your website. So before we do anything, I do want to show you quickly how to set up an email on your domain name. So you can click on email over here and click on accounts. All right, so we're going to set up an email for your domain name. So for example, it might be like hello or support or help or whatever it is. And you can set up multiple ones. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to put in my password. Okay, so we need this later on when we set up our WooCommerce settings area. Okay, so just click on create, and that your email is created. Okay, so you can click over here and you can log into your webmail, and this is where you can manage your emails and things like that. So I do also have another video which I show you how to connect it to Gmail, so you can actually send email via your Gmail account as well as receive emails directly in your Gmail account. So I'll leave the link for that in the description below. Okay, so whenever you do want to log back into your WordPress dashboard area, so let's say if we log out of the WordPress area, okay, to log back in, we need to type in just login like that, and then click on enter. Okay, so that's going to take you to the WordPress sort of login panel area, and then here we'll just enter in the username that we set in before or your email address, and then virtually that's going to log you back into your WordPress dashboard. So here we click on visit website. Now this is what your website will look like to your visitors. Okay, so it doesn't look anything like what you want it to be at the moment. So we're going to click back into the dashboard area, and I'm going to show you how to fully set up all the basic settings first to get you guys all on the same page. So generally the first thing that I want to do is I like to just clean up the dashboard a little bit, because there's a lot of things popping up here, and we can just click on dismiss and close these things. We don't really need it. You can actually go to screen options as well to just hide it all together if you do want to. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to hide this and hide activity, hide this one over here, hide it, and maybe just keep this one up there. Okay, so now everything's tidy, and it's just a lot easier to get building your website. So what I want to do first is make sure that your website is secure. So as you see, when you hover over here, it says not secure. What we want to do is we want to have a secure lock icon. Okay, so this is necessary for all websites these days, especially e-commerce websites. You need the secure icon to accept credit card. So what we need to do is click on plugins. Okay, so here we can click on add new, and we're going to install a plugin called Really Simple SSL. Okay, and then click on enter. Now you can actually enforce the SSL on your SiteGround account, but I think a lot of people are following my tutorial who are using different hosts, right? So we're going to click on install now for this one over here, Really Simple SSL. And then what we're going to do is activate it once that is installed. All right, so almost ready. Okay, then we can click on go ahead and activate SSL. And what that is going to do, it's going to force the SSL on your website, right? So we're going to log back into our dashboard again. Just like that. And let's just close that and close that and close that over there. So now you have a secure icon, as well as having a secure icon on your homepage as well. Okay, so if we go back to our dashboard area, we want to do a few things. The first thing you want to do is hover over settings and click on permalinks, right? So you want to make sure that your permalink structure is the correct one. So it should always be post name. So what that basically means is that, let's say if you create a new page, that page is called About Us or maybe a shop page, then that means the title will be included in the URL, right? So you don't want it to be like, question mark, P equals and numbers. Okay, so that's not good for search engine purposes, right? So if you want to rank on Google, then you want to make sure you set post name. Okay, so we can also go to plugins, right? So you generally, sometimes if you have other hosts, you might get some plugins which are already installed. So you might want to deactivate all the ones there, okay? And then you might want to delete it as well, okay? Because that's just going to add extra sort of functionality for your website, but a lot of those aren't needed at the moment. And sometimes it's just sort of can conflict with when you're building out your website, right? So with the SG optimizer, we can keep that activated. Doesn't really matter. If you do run into any issues with like the builder later on, you might want to try and deactivate it and then reactivate it once you are finished building your website, right? So another common question that I always get is that, you know, this website is live right now, right? So if you share this website with your friends, your family, your customers, they'll be able to see your website and it looks like this, right? So the most common thing I always get is how do I hide my website when I'm actually just building out my website, right? So you can click on plugins over here, add new, and we can search for coming soon. So I believe it's the minimal coming soon plugin over here, minimal coming soon, install. Okay, this one by Web Factory. And once that is done, we can activate it, right? And this is going to hide your website in maintenance mode, right? So here we can turn it on. And if we visit our website, like if we are logged in now, we can see it, right? But if we're our customer, let's just log out of our site again. And we go to over here, then it just says coming soon, right? So this is awesome. Really, really simple to do. So I'm just going to log back in. Okay, so that doesn't work. We might need to do WP admin. Okay, so what you want to do is make sure you bookmark that page as well to your bookmarks. So we're going to log back in over here and go like that and close it. Okay, so here we can go to our pages, right? We're going to delete all our pages, move it to trash and apply. Click on trash again, and I'm just going to select all and delete them all permanently. Click on post as well, and I'm going to delete the sample hello world post. Click on trash and delete permanently. Okay, so SiteGround is really, really awesome because, like, as you can see, like all the things that I'm doing, it's reacting really fast, mainly because of the performance, right? So if you are using some other host, you might want to consider SiteGround, but that's up to you. So what we're going to do first is we're going to add some pages to our website. So we can click on pages and click on add new, and we can close this. So as you can see, you can't see your WordPress dashboard at the moment. I personally don't like that. So we can click on the sort of three dots up here. Okay, click on that, and we can deselect the full screen mode. Okay, so that way you can actually see, you know, your dashboard area again. So that's up to you anyways. For the title, we're going to set in home. Okay, so for our home page, and click on publish and publish that. Okay, so that's live now. And if we click on view page, then this is going to be our home page, right? So I'll show you how to set that in later on. So we're going to close the other websites. We don't need that anymore. So to create a new page, we can go back to our dashboard area, or you can also hover over here, add new, and click on page. Okay, so the next page we're going to add is like about page. Click on publish, just like that. And let's add in a few more pages. So for example, contact, publish. So I'm going to go a little bit quicker right now. We're going to add maybe like a shipping and returns page. So you should always have like a shipping or like a FAQ page, because a lot of people will ask you the same questions, you know, over and over again. So you may as well have a FAQ which answers their concerns, right? It's going to save you a ton of time. And publish that in, and we're going to click on page. Now, if you do want to have a wish list, we're going to set in a wish list page later on. So I'm going to set that in. So you can create as many pages as you want. I'm just creating all the necessary ones that you need. Okay, pages again. This one's going to be privacy policy. Oops. Like that. And click on publish. Publish again. And then we're going to add in the terms Terms of service, terms and conditions, up to you. This is basically just the terms for your customers when they're buying from you. Okay, click on publish and done. Okay, so to view all your pages, you can click on all pages, and here are all your pages. All right. So what I want to do is I want to install a theme. So the theme is going to change the appearance of our website over here, right? So by default, it is the default WordPress theme. We want to download the theme in the description below. Okay. So once you download that theme, it should look something like this, right? Themify-shop.zip. Sometimes it might be automatically unzipped into a folder, right? If you're using like Safari or something like that, what you want to do is right click and just compress it back into the zip file. Okay, so we want to make sure we upload the .zip. So we go over here, go to appearance and click on themes, and then we can click on add new, and then we're going to click on upload theme, choose file, and then find the theme, and then click on this one over here. Okay, click on open and install now. So basically I partnered up with Themify and they have allowed me to share this theme with you guys. So it's actually a premium theme, but it's actually really, really awesome, and it's personally what I use. And it includes the drag and drop builder. So we want to make sure you activate as well. Okay. And here you can actually import some like demos and things like that, but I don't think that's good. So we're going to click on the close up here, and we can go back to visit our website over here. And you can see our website has changed completely, right? So it looks a lot more like what I've showed you in the demo, but it's still not there yet, okay? So here we want to make sure that we set in the menu and things like that. All right, so what I want to do is I want to click on customize here. And then we're going to click on back, and then click on the homepage settings, click on a static page, and click on the home page, and you want to set this to home. So essentially what I'm going to show you is, let's say if we go over here, the page is not displaying up here, but let's just say we go to our sort of our home page. So our home page it has the extension home, right? We want that to be just the domain name.com, right? So this is exactly what we're doing here to set in our home page to be our home page. So I don't know if that's confusing or not, but hopefully you guys get it. Just click on publish, and let's say we close it. If we go to our home page, right, it's going to redirect to just our domain.com. Okay, so that's what you want. Now I'm going to show you how to set in the navigation menu, because as you can see, we can't see the pages that we've created. So what we need to do is we can click on customize and click on back over here, and then click on menus, and we want to create a new menu. So we want to click on the create new menu, and the new menu is going to be top nav, right? So this can be any name that you want it to be. This is just for your own reference. All right. So as you can see, you see like 3 lines. This is called like the hamburger menu or the mobile menu. Sometimes if your browser is like you're on a laptop, sometimes it's like really small. You might want to zoom out of your screen of your browser to like 90%, and that's going to display your desktop sort of header section. Okay, so here you want to select main navigation, and we're going to click on next. So we want to add the pages, right? So click on add items. Okay, so the pages that we want to add to our menu is maybe we want to do about. We can do like contact. For the home page, you don't really need to do that, because most of the time when people click on your title or your logo, it will automatically redirect. So generally I don't use the home page. You won't see the shop page yet, because we need to add in the WooCommerce plugin in a second, right, which I'll show you. So that's all pretty much. And then what we could do is let's click on the menu options, automatically add the new top level pages to this menu, right? So any page that we create later, it will automatically set it into the top navigation. So click on publish, and that's done for your top menu there. So for your footer menu, I'm going to show you how to create that right now. So we can click on back over here, and then create a new menu, right? So this is going to be a footer. So the top is called your header, here is called your footer, okay? And here we're going to select footer navigation, select next, and we can add in the items. So I'm going to add in maybe like terms, privacy, and let's go with maybe shipping and returns and contact. And then if you do want to rearrange it, then we can just click it and sort of just drag it and rearrange everything like that, okay? If that's what you want to do, click on publish and close it. Okay, so we've got our header navigation set in, as well as our footer navigation. What I want to show you now is to set in the layouts of your pages. So as you can see, you've got a title here and you've got a sidebar here. If we turn on the builder now and start building our website, it's going to have our title there and things like that, which isn't good. So we can click on save and let's just close it. So we're going to go back to our dashboard area and go to Themify Shop, Themify Settings. Okay, and generally what I like to do is just open my site in a new tab. Okay, I'm gonna close that. Let's go to the default layouts and click on default page layout. Okay, for the sidebar option, we do want to remove it, okay, and remove the title as well. So let's remove the sidebar, remove title, and I also want to disable page comments. Click on save, and then we can refresh the page. So that's looking really, really nice already. I might want to remove the logo as well as the powered by WordPress over here. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do that really easily. Let's go back over here, click on theme settings, and then we can click on the theme appearance. So over here, you can actually edit the header design to anything that you want, right? So personally, what I do recommend is probably just the header logo center or the header logo on the left. These ones you can use as well. But, for your customers, these are probably the best ones to navigate. And that's why, a lot of the top websites just have a really simple, easy to navigate header. But if you're designing something that's more niche, you might want to go for some different options as well, which is cool. Okay, so here we're going to scroll down to the footer. Okay, so this edits the footer design. Okay, the footer design over here. So what I want to do is exclude the site logo. And I do want to also scroll down to footer text, and I want to hide the footer text too, which is essentially this thing over here. Okay, so let's click on hide and click on save. And if we refresh the page, then it'll be gone, right? So we've got a nice and clean footer, which is really, really cool. You can obviously edit, like the appearance of your footer. Over here, you can exclude certain things. And let's say if you want to use like a floating back to top button, we can select that, right? And save it. Let's go over here and refresh. Now the back to top button will actually appear on the right hand side. Okay. Right now we've got nothing to scroll on our pages, so it's not appearing, right? But it'll appear if you do want to set that in as well. I'm going to deselect that one, and you can also play around with the different settings here as well, but that's pretty much it. Okay. Alright, so congratulations guys, we are almost halfway there to completing our website. So now is the exciting part, and this is the part where I'm going to show you how to build out your layout of your homepage. So what you can do is we can turn on the builder, and obviously we can create the layout individually and do it manually, but I've actually created the sort of the page template for you guys, so you can download it and then you can edit it, and then you can move the things around and learn how to build it that way. So you can open up another tab on your Chrome or Safari, just type in like Hogan Chua /templates, okay, with the S, and then click on enter. So I've created all the templates for all your pages. So obviously you can create, your layout by yourself, but it's going to take a little while. So I think this way is going to be a lot faster and get you guys up and running a lot quicker. So all you need to do is you need to just click it and download it, and that's going to download to your folder. Okay, so download it onto your desktop. So download all of these ones. Oops. So download all of them. Okay, and here we go. Okay, so now let's go back over here. So to import the layout, what we could do is we can click over here, import from file, click on OK, and select the home page. So this one's going to be home, and it should be the zip file. Okay, make sure you upload the zip file. If it's not, you need to right click it and compress it back into the zip file. Click on open, and that's going to take a few seconds to load up because we got the images and the text and things like that. All right. Okay, so that's looking really awesome already. So generally you'll notice that the products aren't showing yet because we haven't added in our products, and here it might be empty as well because we need to add in the MailChimp API, which is the sort of the email newsletter service. So we can click on the zoom. So this is a really great way to sort of look at your website from a bird's eye view to ensure that the layout is all nice and even, and ensure like all the spacing and everything looks really good. This is just a great way to also move things around as well. So when you hover over here, the purple, that's going to be the row, right? And inside each row, you can also hover over, I'm going to zoom back in again. You can also hover over the gear icon and you can select the number of columns inside that row, right? So let's just say, for example, this row over here, this one is just one column, okay? If you hover over here, then you can select like 2 columns. So let's say if you want like a text on the left and maybe you want to drop like an image on the right hand side, then you could do that, okay? So essentially, you can also do a undo as well. Oops, undo like that. And you can also adjust the spacing like between here and here by hovering over here and just sort of dragging it and just pulling it like that. And you also want to make sure that the spacing is always even, right? Because I see a lot of websites and sometimes there's just not enough spacing between each of the different elements. Like it might be like too tight, and then here is going to be like a little bit different as well. And then your website just looks, uneven, right? So if we zoom out, then it just doesn't look good, and it happens all the time. So you want to make sure that when you are, let's click back this again, when you're designing it, try to keep things nice and even, right? So if this one is 100 pixels on the top, it should be pretty much the same on the bottom, okay? Same thing for here. You can also adjust the column widths as well by dragging like that. So that's really awesome. So it's really easy to use. I'm going to undo that. And if you want to change the background image over here, then all you need to do is to hover over the row and you can click on the row styling. Okay, so click back here and then click on the background. And then here, obviously you can change it to like an image, just like a single image. You can change it to like a gradient. So gradient is really cool actually, like that. You can set the color, and you can also go to a website called uigradients.com. And here you can click on the next and select a really nice and fun gradients for your brand. Maybe something like this one over here, okay? For example, we can click over here, and if you want to add the gradient, just put the color code into here, paste it in like that, all right? Click on the next one as well. And then we can go back over here, click on that, and paste it into here. Oops, sometimes that's a little bit hard. Okay, there you go. Right, so that's looking so awesome and so nice. Before I go anywhere, I do also want to mention the row overlay. So this is one of the most important things that you can use for your website, especially for background images where you have text over in the middle. So sometimes if you're using a white text, it might not be visible, right? So you can easily add a black overlay, right? And then drop the opacity down to like 10% or maybe even 15 or 20%. You can adjust it here, right? So 20. Okay, and that way it's gonna boost the text, right? So you can actually see the text, and it's gonna make the visibility a lot better. Okay, so what I've done is actually added in for the column background over here. So you can remove that if you want to. That looks okay as well. I'm gonna keep that there, and I'm gonna click back on the background, and then I'm gonna click on the row overlay, and I'm just gonna delete it. But I think that's a really important feature that you're gonna be using a lot of the time. You can also add a gradient sort of row overlay as well. So like this, and then you could drop, maybe let's say we drop the opacity down like that, and that looks really good, right? So maybe drop it even further, something like that, right? So it's not perfect, but hopefully you get the idea. This is a really important feature that I just wanted to touch on, as well as clicking on the text and over here, the font, And also you can add a text shadow like 1, 1 with the blur 2, and then set it to like black, drop the opacity down to 10%, and that boosts your text a little bit. Okay, so let's continue back with the tutorial. Nice and modern. And what you can do, you can also click on add as well, so that basically the gradient will save as your color palette, right? So let's just say, for example, you want to reuse the gradient for this section over here. Click on the row styling, background, instead of image, select gradient, select the color like that. So that keeps your whole entire website really consistent by using the same color scheme, right? So this is really important. Make sure you save your gradients and things like that. Okay, so I'm going to change it back to the image, and over here, we're going to click back onto this row, all right? Then click on the background again, and here you can also add in a video. So a video background is really nice as well, only if you have like a really nice video, okay? So if you don't have a nice video, then probably don't use it. It's probably easier to get like a nice image for your product. So here you can just grab your YouTube URL. Make sure you upload your videos to YouTube. That way it's going to load the video on their servers, right? And it's just going to be a lot faster and not take up resources on your website. So essentially, if you do upload a video, you also want to upload a backup image for your background, because video doesn't really play well on mobile devices. Over here, it does show for mobile here, but here, when you actually view it on your own mobile, then it might not be good, right? So I'm going to change it back to maybe the image, right? And I'll show you the rest of the builder. Okay, so it's really, really awesome. You also want to make sure that the image that you do upload is really, really awesome, right? So there are some really nice free image websites, for example, Unsplash, which is good. Pexels is also really good. But if you want to find a little bit more relevant images, like if you don't have a photographer or you don't have nice images yourself, you can find them on like Adobe Stock as well. So this is a paid service, but I think it's really, really good because you could probably find a little bit more relevant images to your brand and things like that. So if you can't find images here again, then you can go to a website called Fiverr, and you can get like, let's say, lifestyle, photography, and search that up on Fiverr. All right, so they have a lot of different freelancers which can do amazing sort of lifestyle photography with your product, and then you can use that as your hero image, right? So for example, this example over here, $23, not too bad. Let's click into that, right? So we can look at some examples that they do provide. So let's just say, okay, you've got a drink bottle, right? You're selling a drink bottle. Then send the drink bottle to them, let them take the image, tell them that it's like for a hero image, and then you can just put it here, and it's just going to look amazing, right? Now, it's going to be looking a lot more amazing if, it's your own sort of product that you're using, rather than, finding it, a free image from these websites and things like that, right? So you can also get product renderings done. So this is something that I have got in the past. So product renderings. So product renderings aren't like real images. They're just like 3D images that are generated on the computer. And that way you can use it as your product image. You can also use it as, you can put it onto a background, right? And if you don't know how to do that, there's Photoshop tutorials. But again, you've got everything here. You can just type in like Photoshop editing or graphic designer. They can design a really nice hero image for your website, right? Because on a website, it's, if we save it, right? We save this over here, you can see all these different types of modules. Now, 80% of the time, you're not going to be using like 80% of the modules, right? To be honest, if we look at our website, you don't really need too many things. It's just image, text, and buttons really, and some spacing, right? You don't need a lot of these different modules. It's just going to make your website confusing. Because if we go to Apple, right, you can look at their website. Okay, we can scroll down, look at the website. It's just text. They don't even have like a button. They just have a link and really, really nice images. All right. So another thing is you can go to Daniel Wellington, and you can see the same thing. Really, really nice hero image. Nice text over here. Nice modern button. But they don't have too many animations, too many things flying around. And it's just all about like the imagery and things like that. So another really great tool that you can download for your computer is the full page screen capture. It's a Chrome tool, so search that up on Google, like full screen capture, and they can download it, add it to your Chrome. And essentially what that does is it screen captures the whole entire website, right, of whichever website that you want. And you can look at it from like a really nice bird's eye view, and then you can look at the layout, and then you can see how they've designed it like for their website, right? You can print it off, and then you can try and replicate it on your own website over here, right? So that's one way to make sure that your design is really good, okay? To look at inspiration, because sometimes when you are building it out yourself, it's going to be quite hard. So enough of that, because I think that's really, really important. Let's click on the text. Right, so if you want to change the text, it's so easy. You just change it like super sale. Okay, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit, and you can also adjust the columns like that, make it a little bit larger. All right, now for the buttons, so we can click into the button like that, and here you can change the text of the button that's showing over here. Here you can link it, so the /shop is going to link to our shop page. I know we haven't created a shop page yet, but let's just say if you want to link it to any link, then we can, let's say you want to link it to maybe contact page, right? Right click it and copy a link, paste it in, and that's going to link the button to that page. You can also open it in the same window. You can also go to the styling, the button link, background, and change the background color. So I've set it into be a gradient, so you can change it to like that if you want to. I might undo that if I can. All right, and here, let's go back over here to button link, background. This is the hover color, so whenever you hover over it, this will be the color that it turns into. So let's just change it to, like, for example, green. Then it's gonna hover as green, right? So that's really, really cool. Then I'm going to undo that. Okay, hopefully that's good now. Here for the button, same thing. Okay, so if you want to remove the button, we can just click on delete like that. And you can actually drag in your rows into a section as well. So for example, this one is a column within a column. Okay, so hopefully that didn't confuse you, but we can hover over here, and instead of having 2 columns in here, we can select 1, right? Then we can click into that, and we want to make sure we align it into the center. We can click on styling, fonts, and let's align it into the center. So that's looking really, really awesome now, right? Now, as you can see, you see these waves, right? So if you want to remove that, we can go to the row again. So row styling, and that's called the frame. So you can change the frame to anything that you want. For example, maybe this one over here. Oops, that's the top, sorry, my bad. Click on none, and then click on the bottom. So this is the bottom of the frame. And if you want to change it like that, that looks pretty good. This one's not too bad, but like make sure to not use something like this unless you are building like some kind of specific niche website, or maybe like this. Maybe if you're building like a gardening thing, okay, but generally not really. Oh yeah, okay, I get it. Let's just delete it. Here I'm just gonna remove it, click on none, and that's all good. Okay, so then we're gonna click on done. So here you can adjust the padding. This is the padding, and you can also adjust it manually as well. Styling, padding, change it over here as well. So for the bottom and left and right as well. Then we're going to scroll down, and what else do I want to show you? Maybe the image. So you can replace the image just by uploading your image here. And I also do want to point out the hero image that we upload, the sizing, right? So let's click on here. And generally the size that I recommend is somewhere like this size. So 1920 or anywhere around there, and 1280. Okay, so pixels, and it should be below 500 kilobytes. If it's too big, then your website's going to load really slowly, right? So as you can see, this one's probably a little bit too big. Okay, I'm not sure why I uploaded that one, but okay, this one's pretty good, right? So good size and good quality. Make sure it's not too blurry, otherwise, that's not going to be good as well. So you can also change the hover image as well. So for example, let's change it to maybe this one over here. And if we preview that, right, let's just actually save it. And we close it. And we hover over it, then it changes images. So that's a really, really nice effect as well. And since we're here, what you'll notice is when you save the builder, you'll notice the spacing over here. So with the spacing, to remove it, you can click on edit page. And then we can scroll down to the custom panel area over here, change the content width to full width and click on update. Okay, so for every page, you have to do that to remove the spacing. Okay, so let's click back onto the home page. I'm going to remove that, and then that's remove the spacing. Okay, so we can turn on the builder again. I'll show you some additional features. I'm going to go over here and just remove that because it's a little bit annoying. Okay, like that. Click on done. Then we can scroll down here, change the image, change the background, just click into it, background color, and you can adjust it like that, right? So whichever color palette that you're using, like let's say you're using this one over here, make sure to add it in over here, so then you can reuse it on your website and things like that to ensure everything's consistent, right? So another thing to make sure that your website's consistent is that you can duplicate different modules like that, so that way you don't have to keep on setting in the size for each one, right? So let's just say, for example, we could drag it and just, drag it over here, and we can remove this one if we want to, right? So that way it's all consistent rather than using another text module from here. You can also do the same thing with the buttons as well. So duplicate the buttons as well as duplicating, let's say, the entire row like that. Okay. And you can also do this. You can also zoom in, hover over here, and you can right to left, and that's going to adjust it like that. So that's really, really awesome. Like, this builder is amazing, in my opinion. So the other things that I want to show you is, I'll talk about the colors and the fonts later on, because it's important to just get the basic layout right and show you some of the basic functions and things like that. What we want to do is maybe let's move up the featured products. So if you want to move up the entire row, just hover over here. And once you see the arrows, just scroll up and let's just drag it onto here. Right, make sure the spacing is even, 50. Okay, that's okay for now, and we can adjust that a little bit later on. Now, the next thing I want to show you is make sure it's responsive, right, on all devices. So the layout that I've provided you guys, I've actually set it to ensure that it's responsive already. So sometimes you do need to edit it, and whichever setting that you edit in the mobile responsive setting, it's going to save as that for that specific device. So let's just say, for example, we click into this text and we click styling font, and let's just change the font size to a little bit smaller for mobiles, maybe 16 or something like that. And then if we click back onto that one, right, the size is going to resize back to 20. So whichever setting that you change, it's going to be saved for that device only, right? So sometimes you might want to remove certain parts of your website. So let's just say, for example, maybe you don't want to show, let's say, this section over here, right? So this entire row, we can click on the styling, and here you can set the visibility. So we can hide it for mobile if we want to, and we can also hide it for devices, other devices, if you want to as well. So this is a really cool feature that you can use. Then we can go back over here. Okay, that's the preview button. Let's just click back and change it back to the desktop. Okay, so that's pretty much it for now, and I'll walk you through the other things later. So let's just import like another page, and I'll show you some other amazing features as well. So let's just say if you want to import your, let's say, FAQ page or something like that, so shipping and returns. Okay, so here, turn on your builder, import from file, okay, and choose the FAQ one, okay, open, and that's going to import. Okay, and then you can click into the modules, and I've set everything up for you guys, so you can just change the title and your answers and things like that, and edit everything like that. We can click on save, and then we can close it, and then we want to ensure that the spacing is removed, so click on edit page. Now, if you do have any sort of issues with importing the template, then you can also email me at support@hoganschuler.com. All right, and then we can scroll down here to full width and click on update. And then we can click here and click into that page again, and that should be removed. Right, so I'll go through changing the fonts and things like that later on, but that's just the basics of it, and this is really cool because people can open it up like that, and yeah. So now the next step is to show you how to add in all your products. So let's go back to our dashboard area. Okay, so there's 2 more plugins that I want you guys to download from the description below that we need. So hover over plugins, click on add new. And the plugin is going to be called, so over here, it's going to be called Builder WooCommerce and Builder Contact. This is going to help us display your contact form on your contact page, as well as Builder WooCommerce. It's going to allow us to add in our products anywhere that we want. So we're going to go back over here, click on upload, choose file, and Builder Contact. So we're going to upload that one first, and it has to be .zip. So install now. And then after when you've done that, then we need to activate it, as well as adding in the other one. So add new again, and then upload plugin, choose file. This one's going to be builder woocommerce.zip. Install now. And once that is done, then the other plugin that we need is the WooCommerce plugin. So the WooCommerce plugin is in here already. So click on add new, and instead of downloading it, just search for it. So search for WooCommerce, and this is going to help us add the e-commerce functionality to our website. So this one over here with 5 million installs by Automatic, and let's click on install now. Let's click on activate, and that's going to go through like a setup wizard, which I'll show you how to set up as well. So here we can just click on yes please. And here we're going to put in our address. So generally, if you are operating an online business, what I recommend is getting a PO box in your local country. You don't really have to put in a real one right now though. This is mainly for your customers. So, you know, when you are starting out, then just put in any address, maybe your home address if you want to, or just a random one, and then you can update it later as well. So I'm just going to set in a PO box here and set in the country. So I'm just going to find it actually. Australia, Victoria, let's just say Melbourne, and postcode, let's just do 3000, and then we're going to click on continue, and I'm going to continue for that. So this doesn't really matter which one you choose. I'm just going to choose this one, continue, and I'm going to be selling physical, downloadable as well. So these ones are additional sort of services they offer, and this is basically how they make money. There are probably some other cheaper plugins that you can get, so you probably don't want these now. You can get them later if you do want them, so you can click on continue. How many products that we plan to display? Let's just say 11 to 100. Currently selling elsewhere, we're just going to say no. All right, so they're also going to add in some plugins as well, for example, to Facebook, MailChimp, which is the sort of email opt-in service, Google Ads, and we're just going to click on continue for that. All right, so click on continue. All right, so once that is done, then here we've already got our theme installed, so we're going to continue with my active theme. And here they're going to install the Jetpack, and for the Jetpack, it'll allow you to connect it to your phone app as well, and also calculate the taxes, which is really, really important. So we're going to click on yes, please. All right, so once that is done, then we probably have to activate that by setting up our email. So we're just going to click on set up Jetpack. And I think you can continue with WordPress.com, or I'm just going to try and log in with my Google account. Hopefully it's going to work. So let's click into that. Sometimes they do change the layout of the setup process a little bit, but generally it should be pretty easy. Let's just wait for that. Okay, so that should be good to go. I'm just going to click on OK for this one. This one, I don't think we need to do anything about that. Let's just close that. And for this one over here, we're just going to close this for now as well. And here, what we're going to do is add in our products. So what we can do is hover over WooCommerce here, and if we click on the dashboard, so I'm going to show you how to set up everything. So we're just going to skip the store setup. All right, now what we're going to do is add in our products. So we can click on products over here, and then we can create our first product. Okay, so here is your product name. I'm just going to click on dismiss for that. I'll show you everything that you need to know. So let's just say, for example, you want to add in a yoga mat. So yoga mat, and I'm going to get some dummy text. So maybe like Lorem Ipsum. So generally for your description, you want to be as descriptive as possible, like outlining all your benefits, features of your products, which is really, really important. And you can go to Amazon.com to view like similar products to your product and get some inspiration there about what to write. So I'm just going to paste it in for our description area, as well as scrolling down to the short description as well. All right. Then over here, we want to scroll down to the product data. Here we're creating a simple product, so just one product. I'll show you how to create a variable product later as well. And our product is going to be physical, so we're not going to select this. And let's just say we set in a price of $59. You can also set in a sale. So basically, you can also schedule it as well. So let's say if you have a Christmas sale or end of financial year sale, then you can schedule that for a specific time. For the inventory, now generally for the SKU is the sort of unique identifier for each of your products. Now this is only if you have like hundreds of products. If you have just a few products, then I probably wouldn't bother having SKU yet. Then for the managed stock, you can also manage the stock by setting in sort of the quantity that you have, right? So let's just say, for example, we have 20 of our yoga mats. We can set that in, and then allow back orders is basically if you run out of the products, are you going to allow people to buy it? I'm just going to select do not. And for the low stock threshold, what you do want to do is you want to know how much you're selling every day, so that way it can notify you when you have low stock, so that you can reorder the stock, right? So generally, it really depends on how many you're selling. If you're selling like 10 a day, then it takes like 30 days for you to order that product and get it into your warehouse or anything like that, then you might want to set the low stock threshold at like, let's say 300 or something like that, right? That's just saying if you're selling like 10 a day, right, for 30 days, so that's 300. I'm just gonna set it as 2 for now. Then basically this one over here is sold individually. So essentially, let's say if you have a virtual product, for example, you have a coaching call, and obviously you're not going to allow people to buy like 5 or 10 coaching calls. It might just be one for one order. Okay, so here for shipping, you can set in the weight of your product. So let's just say the yoga mat is maybe 2 kilos including the packaging. You might enter in the dimensions here. I'm not going to worry about that. For the shipping class, this is I'll show you how to do this later, because let's say if you're selling majority, you might be selling yoga mats, but then for some reason you might be selling sofas or something heavy. So you can set in a heavy shipping class, and that way you can set in a different price for that. All right. So for the link products, we don't really have any products yet, so we can't set that in. But generally for the cross sells, whatever product that you set in here, it's going to appear on your cart page, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the store in a new tab. And on your cart page over here, right, it will show the product here. So let's just say, for example, you are selling a yoga mat, right? So a cross sell, a good cross sell might be like maybe like a bag for your yoga mat or some kind of accessory for it. Okay, upsells is going to appear below the product, and I'll show you that later on. Don't worry about it now. Attributes is when we set in a variable product. When we have different variations, we need to set in the attribute. So let's not worry about that. Advanced, so you can add a purchase note if you want to as well. For the menu order, I'll talk about that later. And then that's pretty much it for this section over here, right? Not too hard. Then on the right hand side here, you need to set in the product categories. So you want to make sure that you want to set in like good product categories. So let's just say maybe fitness. Fitness equipment, and then click on add new, and then that's added in as a category, right? So this is going to be for your product filters, so make sure you set that in correctly. For your product tags, this might be like yoga mat, and then, yoga mat, and then it might be the brand of mats, maybe the color of the mat, so like green yoga mat, and click on add. That's just going to help the sort of search function on your website. If people are searching for it. Scroll down, and for the product image, so click on set product image. We're going to upload the file, right? So this is the placeholder if you don't have an image at the moment. We're going to click on upload file, select files, product images, and I'm going to add in my yoga mat. All right. So the size that I've set it in is going to be 800 by 800 pixels, and the size should be probably around maybe 100 kilobytes or maybe a little bit more. This one's less. Okay, so we can click on set product image, and you can also add in additional product gallery images if you have different angles of your product or maybe your product in use as well, and you want to try and keep it the same size. You want to make sure that the product image sizes are all consistent. That way it's not like cropped. And yeah, okay, click on publish and I'll show you what it basically looks like at the moment. All right, once that is published, we can click on view product, and that is our yoga mat over here. Right, so it doesn't look too bad, it looks pretty good. I'll show you how to change the colors and sort of the button colors and things like that later on. But this is our product here. People can click it and zoom in and view the product. Your additional products will be listed under below here. All right, then if we go to our homepage, right, click on your logo here, and your products won't show yet, so we can turn on our builder. So with the plugin that we added in before, the builder WooCommerce, it's going to add in a module. So this means that we can add in our product anywhere on our page. So this is really, really amazing. So we just drop it into here. And here we can select like the specific categories, product on sales, and things like that if you want to filter by that. Now, what we can do is we can set the layout to maybe like grid 4. All right, so it's not going to change it until we save. Sometimes it does that. Let's just click on done and let's save it first and close it. Scroll down, and that is your yoga mat over here. So we can change the display settings to the one on my demo. So click onto it, and then here we can change the content layout to, I believe it was overlay, something like that, which looks really, really nice. So another really important tip that I do want to give you, because I think that this is like crucial in terms of like success of your online store, is your product images. So you can upload a product image, but you want to make sure that it's like cropped properly and also it is consistent, right? So what I mean by that is, if we go to Daniel Wellington, now if we look at the product images, they have a light gray background on the product image, right? And it's very consistent throughout the entire website. Okay, so that light background, we have the same feature on our image over here, and I'm just going to show you how I personally do it. So basically, let's say for example we have my product image that I took. I just wanted to show you an example because it makes a big difference. So this is a product image of something that I took just to show you guys an example of, you know, what you should do. So I've just taken this image of this hair wax, like near the window with a white piece of paper underneath, right? And obviously right now it looks very amateur, right? Really amateur, and doesn't look good if you upload it onto your website, and it's just going to ruin your entire website. What I've done is I've edited, and now it looks like this now, right? So when we upload our image, it's like nice and clean. It's got a nice light gray background. So how I did it was I used a sort of a online software. So let's go over here, and it's called remove.bg, right? So I've bought some credits. Now we can upload the image over here. So select this over here, click on open. Now it's going to upload and it's going to crop it out for you, right? It's going to crop it out for you so that you have a sort of a transparent background like that, which is really good. And then what you could do is you can click on edit, I believe, and set in like a background. We can go to color, and then you can set in the light gray to like, so generally the light gray I use is F6, F6, F6. So you might want to write that down, click on OK. And that's a light gray background. Okay. So I've also cropped it as well, but I'm not going to show you how to do that. I think I cropped it in Photoshop, or you can also use some other cropping tools like photo.com to crop your images as well. But this is really important. So you can do this for all your product images and before you upload it onto your website. Okay, because if you don't do that, then your website's not going to look good, and you know, people aren't going to buy from you if you have like really bad product images. So I see a lot of people upload really bad product images. You can also go to Fiverr. So you could do like products, sort of products photography or editing or something like product editing. So you can also ask people to help you crop it out. Obviously you can, use Photoshop and watch a tutorial in it, but personally it just takes so long, and this one over here is really good. So what they've done is, taken this image and they've cropped it out, added a shadow to it, and now you can upload onto your website, right? So this is definitely worth paying some money for. So let's go add in a variable product. Now let's go back over here to our dashboard. And let's go back to products again, and you can view all products by clicking over here. Click on add new. And then this one's going to be a maybe t-shirt, right? Or whatever it is. So let's paste in some lorem ipsum copy and paste that in, paste it into the short description as well. Then what we want to do is, instead of setting simple product, you want to set variable product. Okay. Then you can add in the SKU if you need to. For the shipping, you can set in the weights and also dimensions here. What we're going to do is we're going to go to the attributes over here. So for your attribute, you can add it over here as well, but generally I don't recommend adding it over here, mainly because if you want to add in a product filter, it's not going to display on the product filter properly, okay, sometimes. So what we're going to do is click on publish for now. Now, to add in the attributes, what we want to do is we want to go over on the left here to attributes here. Okay, so click into that. So the first attribute is, it's going to be maybe color, right? And then for the slug, it's just going to be the same color. And this one here, we're not going to enable that. And let's just add attribute. Okay, so here we can configure the terms. Right, so we can add in the color. So let's just say we got yellow. Slug is going to be yellow as well without capitals. And then add new color. Then the next one's going to be like blue. Slug is blue again. And maybe it's going to be black. Okay, click on add new color. And then once we've done that, we can go back over here and click on attributes again. So you can see that the colors have been added. Okay, so the next attribute is going to be, let's say, size. And we're going to put in size over here. And then click on add attribute. All right, and then we can configure the terms. So for the size, it might be like small or S maybe. And this one, I might do like a small, add new. And this one, let's say medium, add size, and then we're going to do large. So you can do any sort of attribute that you need depending on what product that you want to sell. Okay, now once we've done that and added in our attributes, we can go back to our products, to the t-shirt, and scroll down to here, the variations. Oops, let's go attribute, sorry. And we need to add in the attribute, so color, just add that in. And then we're gonna just select all, right? So select all that we've added before. And you can also add in any manual one that you need as well, if you need to. We're gonna click on use for variations, save it. Then the next one is going to be a size, so add that in. And then we're going to select all, use for variations, and save. Right? So once that is done, you can also add in additional ones as well if you need to manually. But I'm just going to close that. All right, and let's just remove that one. Then click on variations. So now we need to generate the variations for our t-shirts. So what we can do is over here, create variations from attributes and click on go. Okay. Okay. And that has generated all the different variations of the size and the colors of your products. So wait for that to load. So as you can see, you've got black and large, black medium, black and small, blue and large. So each of the different variations, You can also drag it and drop it to rearrange the order, but not really necessary. Let's click on this down. So you can set in each of the variations information over here. But the main thing that I do want to set in is just the image. So upload image, and we can click on the upload files, select files, and I'm just going to select the images, blue, black, and yellow. So I forgot to add red, but don't worry about it. Let's click on open. Then this one's going to be black, okay? And also the same, set variation image, and we can set in a specific price for this one. So let's just say this one's like $79 for a large one, and this one over here, upload the black one again. The price might be $69, or it might be the same. So I just want to show you an example. Black one again, set this to $59, and then I'm going to quickly add in the rest. So just put in blue, $79. Okay, so that is done. So obviously you can fill out more details if you need to. Then once that is done, then the next thing that we need to do is we need to go over on the right, set in a new category. So this one's going to be under maybe men's. Click on add. And we're also going to create a child category, so it's going to be under men's. And this one we're going to call it t-shirt. So I like to try and organize everything properly, so everything works properly later on. And it's going to be under men's, add new category, like that, right? So this is the parent category, and this is under men's category, right? So if you stuff it up, or make a mistake here, you can go to the categories over here, and you can rearrange it properly as well. So I'm pretty sure over here, okay, and you can set it so it's like under it. So click on edit, and you can have and set the parent category correctly here. You can also add in a thumbnail, click on update. All right, so that's all correct anyway. So for the product tags, let's just do brand of t-shirt. Click on add, and that's good enough. Set in product image, and this is going to be the main product image. I'm going to select maybe a navy blue, dark blue one. Set that in, and that's looking great. You can add additional images as well. Then what we could do is click on update, and let's view our product. Okay, so let's click on view products. I'm going to clear some of these ones as well. So you can see Nike, they have the same sort of light gray background. I think it just adds a nice touch to it as well. And I'll also include like all the resources that I've used in the description below. And if I can get any discounts for you, I'll leave it in the description as well. All right. Then let's go back over here, and you can see, nice and good. Let's just zoom out a little bit like that. And people can choose the color. So black, choose the size, and then should update. All right. So that's looking really, really nice. Then the other thing that I do want to show you. So if people arrive on that page, it's not going to choose the option by default. So if you want to choose like a default option, then scroll down to the variations and set a default color, for example, black, and maybe, medium might be the most popular size, right? And then click on update. And if we go back over here and refresh it, then by default, it's going to set that in, right? So people don't have to choose and make a decision there. It's set in for them. Then let's go back to our homepage. All right, so let's visit our website again. And that's looking really, really great. So I do want to show you how to add in like a virtual product and a downloadable product in case you want to sell like an ebook for $10, or you want to sell like a coaching call or anything like that. So let's hover back over here. Let's click on dashboard. All right, so let's hover over products again, click on add new. Okay, so let's just say this is an ebook or something like that, ebook PDF. And here we can add in our description again. So I'm just going to grab this again and paste that in. Same over here. And let's just say it's like $19.95. Here for your product, you have to select a virtual product because it's not going to be shipped. It's going to be downloaded. We're going to select downloadable as well. So for the file, you can add the file here. and you can choose the PDF, ebook, or whatever it is that you want them to download. It could be like music as well, and choose file, and you can upload the file. Like for example, let's just pretend maybe this one over here is a PDF. Open that, so people will be able to download that after they've purchased it, right? Okay, something like that. And you can set in the file name as well, so like ebook PDF. Okay, now if you do want to add like a product image for your PDF, another great resource is Canva, where you can easily design a sort of ebook cover or something like that. So for example, let's say, I don't know, maybe let's just say pick this one over here, and you can easily create a ebook cover for whatever you want to sell. Okay, so let's just say this one, you can click into it, change the text and edit it. Then we can download it as maybe a PNG, JPEG, sorry. And then we're gonna click on, let's just try and reduce, okay, we can't reduce the size, download it. I just wanted to show you guys an example. This is also a really great resource to design anything that you need for your website. So over here, set product image, upload files, select files, and let's find our image, our ebook cover, click on OK. Then we have our ebook cover. So that size is a little bit big. We can edit the image size over here as well. Let's try and scale it down. Let's try something like maybe 600, or maybe 800 is fine actually. Click on scale, and then click on, I think that's pretty much it. Click on back. Let's see if that's edited. Okay, not too bad. Set that in. Then what we're gonna do is, let's say we click on publish, and that is your virtual product, right? So this is pretty much the same if you want to add in a coaching call or something like that, except you wouldn't choose downloadable, right? Then we can click into here, and that is your product. Okay, so I do also want to show you another thing, because I wish someone told me this, because this is something called dropshipping, and if you don't have any products yet to sell, then you could do something like this, right? Just wanted to show you guys a quick example, right? So what dropshipping is, it's essentially just importing some products from a website called AliExpress directly onto your store, and you can sell the product and promote it. And once your customer orders the product, then you can ask the supplier to ship it directly to the customer. So essentially you don't have to invest thousands and thousands of dollars and spend a lot of time developing the product. It's a great way to get started in e-commerce. Traditionally, people use Shopify for it, but you can use WordPress for it as well. So this is the website, and basically I'm going to show you how it works, right? So let's go to maybe over here, and maybe let's look up maybe phone cases, right? And you can also choose, where it's shipping from as well. But let's just show you a quick example. Let's click into the first one over here. So this product cost, $1, maybe a little bit more than $1. So let's say we want to import that onto our website. So we'll go and click on edit. And essentially what it's going to do, it's going to download all that product information. So here you want to try and delete what's unnecessary. Ultra thin clear, maybe iPhone case, something like that. Or maybe not iPhone case, because I think it's for other products as well. Here we can change the permalink. So you want something that's clean permalink. I'm just going to show you a quick example. I'm going to select it to be electronics for now. Scroll down. Okay, so this is the product images and things like that from AliExpress. So as you can see, that looks really, really nice. Obviously they paid like a graphic designer to do it for them. We're going to scroll down over here. Okay, so this is the product, and sometimes they do have a logo up here, so you can clear it up like that and click on save. But in this case, they don't have one. We're going to scroll down as well here. Okay, so you can set in the price to whatever you want. Okay, so let's just say it's like $9. The original price is $1.30, and let's say if you spend like $5 to market it and things like that, then you still make a little bit of money. Okay, so here are the different variations that's going to import as well. We're going to remove some of these settings over here. Maybe remove that one as well. Okay. Then once we've done that, we can click on add to import list, or we can publish it directly onto our WordPress website. So this is a different website as well, and I'll probably be making a dropshipping tutorial. So if you're interested in like that kind of things, then make sure you subscribe, right? So I have imported it, and this is the plugin that we need. So it's Ali Dropship, and it's $89. Basically, it's going to help you import it from the AliExpress website and also semi-automate the ordering process. I do have a coupon code if you do want to get it. I think it's like Hogan or Hogan10 for 10% off. So if you do want to purchase it, then the product that you need is the WooCommerce dropshipping plugin, and you can select the Ali Dropship Woo plugin. I do have a tutorial on it on my channel. You can check that out, but it's a little bit old, but it still works. So hopefully that's added into our website. So let's visit our store. So let's just try and click on electronics and see if that has been added in. Okay, so that's been added in already. So that's pretty much instant, right? It takes a few seconds or a few minutes, and people can buy that from your website. Okay, so that's just a quick example that I do want to show you. So now what I want to do is I want to add in the rest of my products. So you can pause the video and add in the rest of your products. Then I'll show you how to add in your product filter and how you can display your products and things like that as well. So I just finished adding all my products in. So what I'm going to show you now is how to change the display settings of the products on the shop page, as well as the individual products, and as well as on your home page. So if we go back to our home page by clicking the logo here, then we can turn on the builder, right? And your product should show here. I'll just show you the basic display settings. So let's click into that. Now we can set the limit of the product to, 4 products, or let's say 8 products. That's up to you. And you can definitely play around with the different settings here and set in whichever categories that you want to. So if we scroll down over here, then you can change the layout of how you want to display it, like a default one. And you can also remove, let's say, the pricing, or maybe the add to cart, right? And maybe you want to hide the, let's say, the product title or even the price. That's really up to you. And I'll show you how to hide these ones as well, which might look a little bit better. Then what I want to show you is how to set in like featured products only, right? So here what I'm going to do is just select all products, and I'm going to quickly show you how to set in just the featured products. Change it back to overlay. I think that's not too bad. Maybe I'll just leave it like that. Done. Save it. And I want to quickly show you how to set in just your featured products. So click on your dashboard section and then go to products. So here you can select the featured product by just clicking the star icon. So if we click that one, right, it's going to take a second to star. Maybe that one is a featured product, and maybe let's say this purple yoga mats and mini gardening set. Okay, so wait until that is selected. Those are your featured products. We can go back and visit the site. Now, if we turn on the builder again, if we set this one to just the featured products, then it should just show the featured products, right? So that's really, really nice. I'm going to keep it all, and I'm going to click on done, save it and close it. Then I'm going to go to the shop page, and what we're going to do is open up the dashboard area, and we're going to navigate to Themify Shop, Themify Settings. So if we go to the shop settings, this is where we can change the layout of the product archive, which is your shop page, right? So here for the shop page sidebar, I'm going to set that in onto the left side. Maybe you don't want a sidebar, then you can just select no. I'm also going to enable sticky sidebar. This is basically going to allow the sidebar to stick on the side, and also on mobile devices, it'll be on the top. So here you can change, how many do you want in a row? Maybe you want 3, maybe you want 4. It's really up to you. So you can definitely play around with these settings. I might hide the add to cart, and let's say you want to hide maybe the share button and things like that. So you can definitely play around with the settings here. For the single product page, this is essentially, let's click on save first, and refresh, and we'll check the changes, right? So I'll show you how to set in the product sidebar later. Here is what you've set in. Okay, so that's looking not too bad. Now, if we click into the product like that, then this is your single product, and you can change the settings over here. So you can change it to different layouts, and you can play around with the different settings. For example, you might want to hide SKU, hide the tags, and yeah, so we can click on save, refresh it, and maybe it's going to hide some things as well. Okay, so the category, if you want to hide that, let's say the share button, I want to hide that as well. And then we're going to click on the wishlist settings. So if you want to disable the wishlist, you can disable it. If you want a wishlist page, then set it to your wishlist page, which we created earlier. All right. The Ajax cart, this is, you can play around with the settings here. Let's just say, for example, we save it and we refresh the page, and let's add it to the cart. Click it. All right. So it sort of pops up from the side. That's really up to you. I prefer this one like that, and I'm going to click on save. The spark animation is when we click on it, that animates. I'm actually going to just disable that one. Don't really like that one. Shop sidebar, you can disable that as well. Okay, so that's the basic display settings of your shop page and also your product pages. Now we want to show you how to add in your product sidebar for your shop page, so people can filter your products. This is only if you have like probably more than a dozen products. You know, if you don't have that many products, then probably don't need it. But I'm going to show you for those of you who want to know, and maybe you want to add some in later. So let's go to plugins, and what we need is a new plugin. So add new. This one is going to be the Themify product filter, I believe. Okay, so Themify product filter, this one over here, by Themify, install now. Let's click on activate. So once that is activated, then you should see it on the left here, product filters. Click on product filter, and we need to create a new filter. So select add new, and we're just going to name it like shop filter. Doesn't really matter, it's just for your reference. I want the layout to be like this, and you can play around with the settings here, but the basics is, let's say for example you want to add the product title, which is the search function. Generally I hide the field title, and also I might put in a category. I might also put in a products filter as well. Okay, and before we've set in the color as an attribute, so that's why it's going to appear now. If you didn't set it in, then it won't appear. So color. Here I might do, let's say, display color as color icons. Here you can select the color. So I might do black, maybe something like that. Blue. Let's do blue. Like that. And then maybe yellow. Something like that. All right. Then what we could do is you can play around the different settings, like how you want to display it and things like that. I'm not going to worry too much about it. You can also exclude the categories. This is the category ID number, which I'll show you just in a minute. So to find the category ID number, so sometimes you might need to exclude certain categories for your product filter or whatever you need. You can hover over products, click on categories, and for the category number, let's say we want to select electronics. So click into it. Now your product category number will be here. So cat and then and tag ID equals 31. So that is your category number, right? So 31. If we go back, let's go back to our other categories. I'll show you another example. So let's say, for example, watches. Then the category ID number is going to be 37, right? So if you want to exclude it, then you can put like 37, or sometimes you might need to put minus 37, and that's going to exclude it. Over here, you might also want to have a reset button at the bottom so people can reset. All right, and you can play around with the different settings here. Maybe you want to put size as well, or maybe on sale. So I might put it under, let's see, we drag it under here. And then what we're going to do is just click on save on the bottom left. So once that is done, then we can close it. And that's going to give us a shortcode. So copy that shortcode to your clipboard. Then we need to go to the appearance and we want to go to widgets. So what we need to do is add that filter to our shop sidebar. So what we need to do is to delete all of these ones first. Delete, and also delete this one over here. Then we need to look for a text, okay, a text widget. Click it and drag it, scroll up and drop it. Paste in the shortcode, click on save, and then we can click on done. So here, if we visit our store, then you should see something like this, right? So it's a sticky, and that is your categories, and that is your display settings for the color. Right, it doesn't look that great because I didn't really configure it properly, so I might want to go and do that really quickly. Let's go back to our dashboard section, close that. Then let's go product filter and click on edit. So probably I want to change the text color because now it's like a gray. I want it to be more visible, so I might set it to a white color like this. Set it to white, and maybe I might try and set it to the, let's see, the radio. I think that might look a little bit better. Click on save. Let's refresh it. Okay, doesn't look as good, but hopefully you can play around with the different display settings, but that does look a little bit better with the white text. So that is your shop sidebar, and if people want to use the price filter, then they can, which is really, really quick and really good as well. They click on that, then it's going to show the products with the different colors in it as well. If they scroll down, they can clear it like that. All right, so that is pretty much it for your shop settings. Now what I want to show you is how to add in your logo, your fav icon, configure the top menu, and also go through like the colors, fonts for your website to make it really, really modern. I'm going to show you like all the secrets that I know so that you can apply it to your website. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to change and update the menu. So we don't need the My Account over here and the checkout and the cart because we have it over here already. So we can click on the Customize section and we need to set in the menu. Let's click on back over here and then click on menus, select the top navigation. Now here we don't need the My Account page, so we're going to click it and remove it. Checkout page, we don't need that anymore. Cart page, we don't need that as well. All right, then we can click on publish. Now, if you don't see your menu, then you can zoom out a little bit and that will show your desktop menu. Sometimes it's just showing the sort of the mobile menu with the three hamburger menu like that. So we need to go over here, and then what I'm going to show you is how to add in your icon, sort of My Account here. So click on publish first. Now what you'll need to do is we need to click on the X here, and we need to set in our menu from the dashboard area. So you can hover over here and click on the menus. Then that's going to take you to appearance and menus on the back. And here we need to create a new menu. And this one's going to be the icon nav. Okay, so you can name it anything that you want and create menu. So here we're going to select the My Account page and add that to our menu. Then what we need to do is we need to click on the down arrow, and then we need to insert icon. Then we need to look for a sort of a user icon like this one over here. And then what you can do is just save it here first. And one thing I forgot to do is to select the display location to be the icon navigation area. So save it again. Then we can go and visit site, and then you should see it on the right hand side here. Okay. So the next thing I want to show you is how to customize the fonts and the colors for your website. So to do that, you can click on customize. Now with the theme, this Themify theme, you can customize any section of your website, from the header section to the body section to your buttons to your shop page, anything that you want, right? And sometimes it can get quite overwhelming. So I do want to sort of explain a little bit about your fonts, because if you change your font, then it's going to completely change the style of your website. So by default, the font that we're currently using is Libre Franklin. Now, if we change the font to, let's say, because there's so many fonts, you're definitely going to get overwhelmed and you don't know which one to pick. Now, let's say if we pick this one, now that's going to change the style already, right? So it's going to feel different. So if we choose maybe this one over here, it's going to feel different again. So it's really important that you choose the right style for your brand and your business, because it's going to reflect and it's going to give off a different feeling for like each and every font that you choose. So this one is going to be different again. I mean, this one's not too bad actually. So what is the difference between the fonts? So generally there are two different typefaces, right? So there is the serif typeface and the sans serif. There's also display handwriting and monospace as well, but these are the two main ones, right? So the main difference between the two is that with the serif typeface, you'll see that they have the curves on the edges of the text, right? So if we go over here, the sans serif one, you'll see that there's no curves. It's just the strokes are the same, right? So it's all even. But this one, with the serif typeface, it's thick and thin with the strokes, and you'll see that it looks more elegant, it looks more traditional, it looks probably a little bit more serious as well. So if we go to like Tiffany & Co, they use this typeface on their website. So maybe it reflects elegance and also maybe handcrafted look to it. Also a little bit more serious. If we go to Downing Wellington, they just use the sans serif one. So very, very modern and sleek. So depending on what you want for your business, then you want to choose the right font. So you can filter the fonts by trending, most popular ones, and you can select, maybe one of the top 10 ones. Those ones are pretty good to get started with, right? So if we select, let's say, the sans serif one, right? If you want like a modern website, maybe Open Sans might be a good one to go with. Montserrat, these ones are all good, like the top 10. So you can write them down and you can test it on your website, because with this theme, you have all the Google fonts to use, right? So I'm just going to do like a modern theme, I guess. So Open Sans is just a very, very nice and modern look. Very, very simple. Doesn't have too much style to it. I'm going to select a normal font weight. Okay, so it's going to adjust for the entire website. Now, let's just say you want to change the headings. So we're going to click on Publish. And let's close that for now. Now, if we turn on the builder, then you can actually change the fonts for each individual module. So this is the text module, and we've set it to the heading 1. And if we go to styling here, general tab, click on heading 1. You can also set a specific font for each module as well, if you want to, right? So generally I don't set anything. So that's what I recommend. So just disable that and don't select anything, and then click on done, and then save it as well. So that way you can just click on the customize section over here, and you can set the heading fonts universally. That way you don't have to keep on setting it in over and over again, right? So let's just say maybe you want a more a look like Tiffany & Co, and then let's go over Google Fonts and let's click on serif. Okay, maybe something like Play Fair Display is pretty good for that purpose. So let's just say Play Fair Display. Okay, so it's going to change the style of your website again. Let's just say for heading 2. So these ones are heading 2, right? So you can check that by selecting that and inspecting it. Okay, so that is the heading 2 style. Okay, then we can set this to, let's say, the same one. So Play Fair Display. Okay, like that. That's not too bad. So it's going to change the look of your website. Now you can also set the font size as well for the default font size if you want to, and then you can also change the font weight as well. So let's click on Publish. And you can also change the header color over here, right? That's the header section. The sticky header is basically when you scroll down, that's the sticky header. And the site logo and tagline. So if you want to upload a logo, click on site logo, and if you don't have a logo yet, generally just put in your site title, your brand name or something like that, and just pick a font from here, okay, and just use that for the time being. Now if you do have a logo, you can click on logo image, and we can select this and upload files, select files. Then we can, let's go upload a logo, maybe something like this, okay. So it should be a PNG file, which means it's transparent, and this is the size that I upload. It doesn't really matter too much because we can resize it in the theme. Insert, right? So that's definitely too big, so you do want to resize it. Now generally what I do is I try to resize it on the height area. So I think it was like 24, which I did before. So 24 is good. Now let's just say if you have a logo which is like maybe something like this, right? It's a little bit tall, okay? So what I do recommend is probably just maybe taking the logo, the picture part of it away, and just use the text logo, or maybe you can adjust this round thing to be on the left hand side of the logo. Adjust it around, because if you have sort of like a big logo like that, it's gonna make the padding area for your header really large. It really depends on you though. Yeah, if you really do want it, then you can put it in there, but generally I just like a simple one like this, okay? Now we need to make sure that the spacing is correct, so we need to go to the site logo margin, deselect margin, and we need to set maybe, I think it was like 18 pixels, which is good, and maybe 14 for the bottom, like that, okay? Then what you want to do is we're going to click on publish and check that out as well. Okay, something like that. And you can definitely play around and adjust the margins, because sometimes it's going to be a little bit different. So you might need to adjust the pixels a little bit. Let's click on site logo and tagline. If we hover over that, that's the site tagline, and you might want to change it to, you know, whatever you're selling. All right. Sometimes you might just click none, okay, which is good as well. Then what else do I want to show you guys? I do want to show you how to also edit here. So this is your main navigation links. So here we can go to the main navigation, the menu link, and you can change the sizing over here. So I'm going to change it to like maybe 14, a little bit smaller, or maybe 15, okay? So I think that's a good size, because if we go to like some of these websites, that it's like a tiny sort of link size as well, and I think it just keeps it nice and modern, right? So if it's like too big, I mean, if you do like 18, it then doesn't really look that great, to be honest. So let's just try 14, and I think that's good enough. Let's click on publish. Okay, now you can definitely go ahead and, you know, edit one by one, especially with the colors and things like that. But generally for an e-commerce website, I like to keep it very, very neutral in terms of the color scheme. And then maybe I might have, you know, one sort of color for like the buttons and certain areas for the website. You know, for a e-commerce website, you just want to keep it nice and simple. And I just think it's easier for you guys to design as well, because probably unless you're a designer, then you can go ahead and, you know, edit each of the different sections. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on accent styling, and then click on the drop down here. And for the accent heading and link color, I'm going to set it to a neutral color, which is like a dark gray, 222, like that. Okay. For the background color, the accent background color, we're going to set it to another gray, 333. So it's going to change for certain areas of your website, right? So you can see the 2 and the background there, that's changed. The font color is here, so I'm going to change it maybe to like a white color, so FFF, like that. Okay, then for when you hover over here, I think this one is the border color, but I might change the background hover to dark gray as well. And also you probably need to change this to 222 as well. Okay, so that's the color scheme for my website, just a neutral color look. And I think that is looking pretty good. Okay, so you can definitely change, you know, each of the individual ones, like the mobile menu and anything that you want. And the footer color, you know, you can go ahead and edit all of those colors. For example, the footer wrap, maybe we can change the background color of that. So let's say like we change it to maybe like a dark gray. Then probably for your footer font, we can change it to a white color so that's visible. And some of those are links, so we need to change that as well. All right, something like that. It's not too bad, I think. Let's click on publish and let's close it. Okay, so I think that's not too bad. I think we do need to change that color as well. Let's just keep the footer. I might just keep the footer white actually, because yeah, every time you change a color, you need to make sure that each of the other sections are also edited as well. So I'm just going to keep it simple actually. So we're just going to delete that one, and let's just delete the font color as well as the footer link. Let's click on publish and close that. Okay, so that's looking really nice. Now, if you do want to get like logos and if you don't have a logo, you can check out Fiverr again for logo design services, right? As well as if you want to get a fav icon, which is the little icon up here, right, that you see on all your websites. And here, I'll show you how to change that. So let's go to the dashboard area. Then let's go to Themify Shop, Themify Settings, and then fav icon, and click on upload. Okay, so we're going to upload the fav icon. So it should also be a PNG file, and click on open. So when you do request like a logo, ask them for a fav icon as well. So generally, let's say this one over here, this Mac Greyjoy, that logo on top over here, that probably will be your fav icon, right? And then once that is uploaded, that's all good. We can click on save. Now, for some reason, some people have issues with clicking on upload, just doesn't open. What you want to do is upload it to your media. So let's just open that in a new tab, right? Upload your logo to media, grab your URL here, copy, and then just paste it into here and save, right? That's the same thing. Then we can just click on visit site, and then your fav icon should have changed. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it. I don't want to go too much into the customizations. You can definitely edit that yourself. I do want to show you guys how to set up the WooCommerce settings and set up your payment gateway so you can start accepting payments and start selling things online. Okay, because I know you guys have been waiting for that for quite a while. But hopefully your website is looking quite good by now. And yeah, so we're going to go back to our dashboard and set in the settings. So what we need to do is hover over WooCommerce, and then we need to click on the settings over here. And here you can change the store address. So this is kind of important because it's going to use this address to determine the tax rates with the automated taxes. So make sure to set in the right zip code at least, right? And if you don't want to display your address, then get a PO box. So here for the general options, you can set in your selling locations. So generally what I do recommend for most beginners is probably selling locally. So a lot of people want to sell like overseas and stuff like that, but to be honest, if you've actually started a e-commerce business before, sending your products out to influencers, getting it to, like, for example, if I want to send it to the United States, it's going to take a lot of time. Shipping is going to be expensive. You have to fill out custom forms and you have to deal with quite a lot of issues. So what I do recommend is probably selling to your local country first, and then once you have a solid foundation, then you can start expanding, right? But that's really up to you and depending on your budget, your expertise, and stuff like that. So we're going to click on enable tax rate and calculations. Then scrolling down, you can change the currency as well, and we're going to leave everything as default. We're going to click it save. Then we can click on products. So here, everything, I'm going to leave it as default. You can also disable reviews if you do want to. You can change the weight units. Here, inventory. So here you can send the notification. So you can set the email to your email, which you do want to receive notifications. You can also set the default low stock threshold here as well. So I might change it to, like, let's say, depending on how many you sell a day, then I will set that amount. Then here, you can also hide the stocks from your catalog if it's out of stock, okay? And also for the stock display format, let's say for example, if the stock is running on low, then it's going to show the quantity, right? So if you don't want to show that, then you can select never show, right? Or you could do like only show quantity remaining stock when it's actually low. So let's say for example, you might have like 100 pieces of a item. So you might not want to show that because, you know, that's a lot of pieces, and then people know that, okay, I can come back and get it and stuff like that. So you might only want to select something like this. Okay, I'm going to click on save. Let's say for the downloadable products, we're going to keep it as default. For the taxes, now generally what I do recommend is probably just automating the taxes. So set in enable automated taxes, because especially if you're living in the United States, taxes can be quite challenging because you've got different states and different zones and also different zip codes, which each have a different tax rate. And sometimes you need to calculate both of the tax rates, and just becomes a lot like very, very complicated. It's a lot simpler in Australia, where you just have a flat rate, like nationwide, where it's like 10%. Then it's quite easy to maybe disable the taxes and set in the standard tax rates. But I think the enabled tax rates is going to save you a ton of time. Now you want to make sure that you have the Jetpack plugin installed and also connected to enable the automated taxes, I'm pretty sure. So over here, right? So you got to make sure that you have Jetpack by WordPress installed and activated, and then that's going to enable you to set this in. All right. So once we've done that, we can click on save, and that's going to sort of close the settings that you have here. Now, the thing that you probably do want to do is maybe check out the reduced rates and zero rates, because sometimes you might have like a ebook or some kind of product. I'm not quite sure, because every country is different. Let's just say, for example, an ebook, which, you know, your tax rate might be like just a little different. I don't know. So let's, for example, you can set in a zero tax rate for that book, or maybe a reduced rate. Let's just say, for example, you set in the country, and here we can set in the rate, and instead of the general rate might be 10%, this one might be 0%, or it might be a reduced rate of, let's say, like 2%. And then we could just do like maybe like GST reduced, something like that, and then we can click on save changes. All right, so once that has been added, then for the specific zero rates here, we can go to our products. Let's say, for example, open that in a new tab, and let's say, for example, this ebook over here, add that in, and scroll down over here. We can change the tax class to zero rate or reduced rate. So for this specific item, you can set it to whichever rate that you want, and then you can click on publish, right? So that is pretty much it for taxes. We're going to click on the shipping. So with the shipping zones, we're going to click on add shipping zone. So we're going to set in the first zone, and I'm going to set in maybe like domestic. So this is for your own country. So it just doesn't really matter what you set in. You can select the actual zones over here. So let's say, for example, Australia. And you can also set in the specific states as well. Maybe for certain states, like let's say the states which are closest to you, it might be a different rate, because you'll need to ask your post office and check the rates and then calculate it accordingly. So let's just say like New South Wales, right? Maybe for those two zones, I'm going to call it like local, right? So these are closest to me. Then I would ship and set in a rate here. Okay, so flat rate, click on edit, and I'm going to call it, let's say $9.95, and save changes, right? So that is the first shipping zone for the local. Then you can also add in free shipping as well. So free shipping over here, add shipping method, and click on edit. And you can also set in a minimum order amount or a coupon. So sometimes if you want to send your product out to your influencer, you might want to give them a coupon which has free shipping as well, because that incentivizes the influencer to promote your product, because that's giving their audience a lot of value. So let's say we set that in. So generally that's what I set in. Let's say your minimum order is 75, and then we can click on save changes, and then that is pretty much good to go. You can drag it and move it up like that. Okay, then we're going to click on save changes, and if you want to add in another zone, then we can click back on shipping zones over here and add another zone. So this one might be just like domestic, and this one might be, I don't know what I'm going to call it. I'm just going to call it domestic actually. So for the zone names, this is going to be like other states in the country. Let's just say like South Australia and Queensland and things like that. I'm not going to set that in right now. So I'm going to add shipping method, flat rate, and here it's going to be a little bit more expensive. So maybe like $12.95. Save changes, and obviously you can add free shipping as well as local pickup. So add the shipping method, and that's probably going to be free. All right. Then let's say if we're going to click back over here. Now the location's not covered by your other zones, so I'm just going to select no methods, shipping methods offered for the zones. You can also set in international ones as well, so add it in. Let's say if you're shipping internationally, and you might be like North America, and this one might be covering just like United States and maybe Canada. Whoops, like that. And let's say we're going to add a shipping method, flat rate, and what we're going to do is set in, let's say $14.95. And the thing you can also add in is another flat rate, and you can set that to express. So we can change the method to express. Oops. Express, maybe like 2-day shipping. And this one's going to be like more expensive, right? So $9.95, and save changes. Okay, so this is the basics of shipping zones. You can also calculate the shipping cost by weight and things like that, which you'll essentially need a plugin. So I'm just going to quickly show you just the possibilities, because I think a lot of people need to know. So click on plugins over here and click on add new. So over here, we're going to search up for table, I think it was table rate shipping. Oops, maybe something like that. Okay, so this one over here. So you've also got some different ones as well, each one with a different functionality. So this one's pretty good because you're going to be able to calculate the total based on the total weight of your items, and also the quantity and everything like that. So you might need to install the plugin, right? So I'm not going to go through that in this video, but I might cover it in another video, so make sure you subscribe. Now let's go and click on the shipping options over here. So you can calculate the shipping options differently, like hide the shipping cost until the address is entered. It really depends on how you want to do it. I'm just going to leave it as default. Shipping classes is important. So shipping classes is, let's say if you want to sell like a TV sofa, a little bit heavier than your general items on your store, and the price is going to be different, right? So we're going to click on add shipping class, and this one's going to be like heavy items, and the slug is just going to be like heavy, items, the same. And this one might be like maybe 5 to 10 kilos, something like that. And you can save that shipping class. So what that is going to do is, if we go to our products over here, then we're going to click on, let's say this yoga mat is like really heavy. Click on edits and scroll down, and if we go to the shipping over here, we can set in the shipping class to heavy items, right? And then we can change the cost of the heavy items. So let's just update that. So I want to show an example. Let's go back over here and let's go to shipping zones. So for example, we'll click on edit over here, and for the flat rate, let's edit that. Now if you have like a different shipping class, we're going to delete that, and we're going to set in the shipping class cost. So this one's going to be heavy, so it's going to be like $19.95. And if it's no shipping class cost, if there's no shipping class, it's going to be just the normal $9.95. If you do put the price over here, it does add on, so I generally take that one away and just put it over here as well. Then for the calculation type, what you could do is charge for the shipping individually, or you can charge for the most expensive item thing that you want. Okay, so you can set that in, right? So we're going to click on save changes, and let's go and show you an example. So visit the store. Let's go and delete this item over here. Let's add this one over to the cart. Okay, and add that in. Let's go to the checkout. Scroll down. And I think if we set in the address, okay, so we haven't set in the address yet so you can't view the shipping options. So let's just put in my shipping address example. Okay, so Australia. And as you can see, once you set that in, then the shipping is going to be $19.95 because this is a heavy item. Okay, so let's go back to our dashboard area and finish off the settings over here. Okay, so we're up to payments. All right, so I'm going to show you payments after when we've finished configuring all the tabs here, accounts and privacy. So over here, you can also select for your customer to log in into their account during the checkout. You can also allow customers to create an account during checkout, as well as allow the customers to create an account on your account page. Right, so depending on how you want to operate your business, you might want to enable that because it's going to make it more efficient in the checkout. And we're going to scroll down over here. For the privacy policy, you want to set in your privacy policy page, and that's going to link it over here. All right, and you can also check out these ones over here as well if you want to retain certain amount of data for a certain amount of time. And if you want to delete it, then you can set how long you want to keep it. Right, let's just save the changes over here. Emails. Now with the emails, I think it's really important to have for the from email to be set to a domain specific email. So if you don't have an email already, then I want to recommend you guys to set that one up because it's really important. Otherwise, sometimes I think the order confirmations will be sent to the spam folder for your customer. That's not good. So earlier in the video, I've showed you how to create an email in SiteGround. If you're using like another hosting provider, then you might need to set that up at your hosting provider. And I'll include the links down below for like HostGator as well as Bluehost and SiteGround. And I'll show you how to connect it up with Gmail so you can receive and send emails through there as well. All right. So here you can also change the email template. So for example, you can upload your logo over here. We're going to save changes first. So to upload your logo, what you need to do is we need to go over to media. So I'm going to open that in a new tab. Add new. Okay, so to upload your logos, you can select files, but I've already got it over here. We're going to click on here and copy that to our clipboard. Control A, grab that and copy that. Come back over here, paste in your logo, the URL. And you might also want to delete built with WordPress, WooCommerce. And for the color, you can also change the color scheme over here. And let's just change it to maybe like a dark gray or your color scheme that you have for your website. All right, and then we can click on save changes, and then you can also preview that. So click on preview your email, and then it'll be something like that, right? So I'll also show you a different plugin that's going to help you customize your email templates to something that's a lot more attractive than this. So don't worry about this at the moment. Okay, so just leave that. You might need to, if you do want to do this, then you might need to change the logo size that you upload. Now, here you can also click into each of the different things and sort of change how you want your email template to be sent. So the only thing that I do want to send is for the completed order. Click on manage for that one. So this one over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change it to your site title order is now has been shipped, right? Because sometimes it can be a little bit confusing when it says completed. So let's say, for example, you could do like your site title order has been shipped, right? So that's going to be the subject line when that email is sent to your customers. Okay, so it doesn't really confuse them when it says completed. Now you can also change the template a little bit later as well with the plugin. Let's click on integrations, and I think everything's all good for here. Advanced. Here you want to make sure that you set the terms and conditions page to the one that you set in before, and scroll down, and I think that's pretty much it. Click on save, and we're going to set up the payments. So click on your payments tab, and if you want to accept like bank transfer, check payments and things like that, you can enable that. And same with cash on delivery. So the customer can pay, once you deliver the goods by cash, or maybe by FPOS, like if they have if you have an FPOS machine at your shop or anything like that, then they can do that as well. So generally what most people set up is probably PayPal. It's probably the easiest way to get paid online. So you can enable that. Now, if you don't have a PayPal account yet, then you'll need to go to paypal.com and you need to set up an account. So generally when I first started online and started making money online, I just started out with a personal account. And once I started to get a few sales, then I upgraded to a business account. Because with a business account, you do have to put in like your sort of business name and, the business number, like the ID number. In Australia, it's like the ABN. So in America, you probably have to put in like your tax file number. Same in Australia, and all countries probably have to do that. With personal, I'm pretty sure you don't have to do that, but I'm not quite sure because I haven't signed up for an account for a while now because I already have an account. But you'll need to connect your account with your bank, and that's pretty much an easy process, and they'll walk you through how to do that in PayPal itself. So once you have that, then you'll need to put in your PayPal email over here. So we can click on setup, all right, and all you need to do is put in your PayPal email. So just put in, for example, my one's going to be creativeway.com. And with PayPal, you're able to accept credit cards, but it's not going to be on your website directly. To do that, we're going to need Stripe, which I'll show you how to connect in a second. Okay, so what else you want to do is also put in your PayPal email in the receiver email field as well, and then you can proceed. Over here, that's pretty much all you really need to do for this. Okay, then we can click on save, right? So let's just say, for example, let's go to our site. Let's go and check out. And we can scroll down over here. Then as you can see, people can pay by Visa, Master, American Express, and they can check out and proceed to PayPal. So they'll need to log into their PayPal account if they have one. If they don't, that's also good as well, because they can also pay with their credit card or debit card and things like that, right? So that's the basics of payment. Now I want to show you how to set up the online processing directly on your website itself. It is going to be a lot more professional if you do have that, and most websites do have that. So I'm going to show you how to set it up using Stripe. So I just want to quickly show you what Stripe is. Now Stripe is going to allow you to accept credit cards directly on your website, whereas PayPal, you have to click into it and you have to click on proceed to PayPal, then they can choose their credit card payment, right? I think it's just going to be a lot more professional if you have a credit card processing on directly on your website, and it's going to help with your sales and conversions as well. So what you'll need to do is you can go to stripe.com. Now it might not be available for your country. Now if it's not available, there's also other plugins that you can search for and integrate it with your website to add that credit card functionality. I think like To Checkout also does that as well, or you might need to just stick with PayPal for now. Right, so generally with these companies, they're adding new countries like all the time. So make sure you check them out another time, and they may have implemented for your country as well. So with Stripe, basically what will happen is you'll need to sign up and you need to fill in your details, and you'll probably get into your dashboard section and it'll look something like this. And you'll need to verify your email. Okay, so they'll send you a verification email, and what you need to do is activate your Stripe account, and you also need to, I believe you need to put in your information, for example, like your personal information, your business information, as well as verification like your passport or your driver's license and things like that. And what will happen is that once they verify and accept it, then your account will be activated and you can receive payments into your Stripe account, and then you can set that to be automatically sent to your bank account of choice. So generally you can set it to send that payment directly to your bank every day or every week or something like that. Okay, so I'm going to select my trial account and show you exactly what you'll need to do. So over here, this is the activated account, and once you have done it, click on developers. Right, so we need to connect your Stripe account with your WooCommerce. So we can click on API keys. Now, if you want to do a test transaction, then you can click on view the test data, and copy over the test key and secret key over. Okay, but I'm just going to do a real transaction because you just want to do a real one, and I'll also show you how to create a coupon code so that it's really cheap, right? So let's just set that in, and we're going to copy over the publisher key and copy that to your clipboard. And then we're going to open my other website over here. So here, what we need to do is we need to go to plugins. Now, sometimes Stripe might be installed already. So with this one, it's not installed yet. So we need to click on add new. So we need to find the plugin over here. So Stripe, and just click on enter. So I'm just going to use the one by WooCommerce, right? And then click on install now. So once that is done, click on activate. All right, so once that is activated, we can go to WooCommerce, click on settings, click on payments, scroll down, and then we're gonna enable this one, Stripe credit card Stripe. Okay, so you've also got other payment gateways as well, which you can integrate. So this is the one that we're gonna integrate, and we can click on setup. Okay, we're gonna enable that, and for the title, we're gonna disable it. Okay, just gonna call it credit card and maybe debit card. So people can also use their credit debit cards as well, and pay with your credit card, debit card, like that. Okay, and I'm gonna disable the test mode, paste that in. Okay, I'm gonna delete the spacing over there, and then I'm gonna put in the, oops, it's okay. So put that in like that. So these are the live keys. Secret key, let's go back over here, copy that over, and then I'm going to copy that, and then I'm going to come back and paste that in. So for the webhook secret, what we need is to copy the URL from here, right? And this is going to enable you to get the charge status notifications, right, for your Stripe account. Then we need to go over here, and we need to go to webhooks, and then add the endpoint, paste in the URL, all right, and then select the events. So we're going to select the charge event over here, and then we're going to click on add endpoint. And once that is done, then we can click on the key, copy that over, come back, and then just paste that in. Okay, so that's looking pretty good now. I think everything should be okay. So this thing over here will enable your customers to sort of check out on their mobile Apple Pay, I think, with the Google Pay on mobile. So you can enable that or disable that. That's really just up to you. And we can click on Save Changes. Okay, so that should be set in. Now, what we're going to do is do a test. So I'm also going to show you how to create a coupon. So we're going to click on Create a Coupon, and create your first coupon. So what I'm going to do is probably set in like a 99% coupon, so like 99, just call it 99 or 99 off. Okay, so you can easily create a coupon, really simple. Then what we could do is set in a percentage discount, and I'm just going to do like 95 or maybe 99% off. Okay, and you can also set expiry date as well. That's really up to you, and you can also do usage restrictions and things like that. So we're going to click on publish. All right, so we're going to click on visit site, and we can click over here and we can view the cart. So I'll also show you how to change the look of your cart page and checkout page to something a little bit modern in a second. But I do want to show you how the transaction would work on your store. So I'm going to select free shipping, proceed to checkout. Then what I'm going to do is fill out the information, right? So as you can see, you've got the credit card directly on your website already. All right, so I'm just going to fill in the above, and I'm going to do a real transaction with you guys. Okay, so I just filled it in. Now you want to scroll down and tick this, and then we can place an order. So hopefully this is going to go through. It's going to take a few seconds. Okay, so the order has been received, right? And then we can go back to our account over here, click on home, and you'll see that you have received money. Right, so just then I think we just received $1.60. That was from our website. All right, so basically, if we go to our website as well, so let's log into our website, you'll see the order, and I'll also show you how to connect it to your phone as well with the WooCommerce app in a second, but I do want to show you some other things as well, including the emails, like customizing your emails, the checkout forms, and all the important stuff that you probably want to do anyway, as well as sending PDF invoices as well. So if we go to WooCommerce, we can click on orders over here, right? So this is the order that just processed through our Stripe account. So we will just click into that. And this is your customer's details, the shipping details. So what you could do is ship the product or whatever it is to the address over here, okay? And here, I'll show you how to add in the tracking, which is really, really important. So what we're gonna do is do that right now, okay? So as you can see, that was the Stripe payouts. And what you need to do is, if you do want to refund them, you can click on refund, right? But generally, if the order has been completed, let's say we set it to complete, right? And you'll need to set it back onto pending payment or processing, and then you'll be able to refund it from here, right? You can also refund it directly from your Stripe account as well, okay? Now, we're going to download and use a plugin so you're able to send the tracking details to your customers. So click on plugins and then click on add new. And what we need to do is look for, I think it was like advanced tracking. Okay, this one over here, advanced shipment tracking for WooCommerce, install now. And then we're going to click on activate. So once that is active, then what we could do is we can go back to the orders over here and we can click into the order. And then over here on the right, you'll see shipment tracking. All right. So let's say your order comes in, then what you need to do is you need to ship it out. And generally, if you have like a tracking number, we can click that in. And then for the shipping provider, you can set it to whichever one that you're using. Let's say, for example, I'm in Australia, I'm using Australian Post, or I'm pretty sure you can set in a custom one as well. And then you can set in the URL for the shipping provider. And essentially here, you just put in the tracking number. I'm just going to put in a random one for now. And you can put in the date shipped. And what we need to do is mark as completed. And then we can click on save tracking. And that's going to send a email to your customer. So this is the email once the order has been shipped. All right. So here they'll include the provider as well as the tracking number, and people can click on that to track their order. So that's going to link up to the Australian Post sort of URL, and then they can track it as well, like that, right? So that's not a real one, so we can't really track it. So sometimes your client might ask you for like a PDF as well. So you need to go to plugins again. Okay, so we're going to search for, I think it's like Woo PDF or WooCommerce PDF or something like that. Okay, so this one over here, Woo Invoice by Web Epic, and we're going to click on install now. Okay, so there are some other ones as well, which you can definitely try out, but obviously there's so many different ones and each with different functionalities. I found this one to be just nice and simple, but you can definitely check out other ones as well. Let's click on activate for that. Then now if we go back to our orders over here and we can click into that. So I think generally you can also click on the packing slip as well. So for example, if you've got a lot of orders and sometimes, within the order, let's say you have, yoga mat, you might have, fruit, you might have different items, then you can print this off and that's just for your reference. So you can pack the right stuff. Okay, you can print it off and things like that. So here is the invoice. So you can click on that and it'll generate an invoice. So you can put in your sort of a logo as well as your address and your business ABN number or whichever number that is like the tax number for your business. Put that there and then that will be your invoice, and then you can send that to your customers, because sometimes they might be like business customers and you want to send that to them. You can click over here, right? So I'm not going to walk you through too much about the customizations. You can play around with the settings over here. This one I might just deselect this one though. And you can also select templates as well and configure this. All right. And I think seller and buyer, you can upload your logo here, put in your company's information, all right, and save changes. And yeah, I think they've also got a pro version as well, which you can check out. Personally, I just use the free one. So the next one that I want to show you is plugins. This one is going to be the email. So I'm going to search for Cadence or Cadence. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it. So it's this one over here, WooCommerce Email Designer. So we're going to install now. And then we're going to wait for that and we're going to activate it. Click on activate. Okay, so what we're going to do is configure that. You can go over here and click on email customizer. And that's going to take you to your customizer on the front as well. And we can click on the pre-built templates and you can download or use the template as well. This one, the free Fluid template, is also the one that I've showed you in the demo, in the introduction of the video. So you can follow that and download that and import it here. Just load the template. So I'm not going to show you that right now because I'm going to make the video super long. But let's just say, for example, we select this one over here. Maybe click on load. Okay, something like that. Okay, nice and simple one. And you can configure, all the things over here, like the footer section, the social links. You probably want to change that to your social links, customize the colors to your specific thing as well. And you might want to add in a logo and things like that. What I do want to show you is, I think, the email. Okay, so for example, the customer completed the order. So this one over here. You might want to say that the order has been shipped, right? So here, your recent order site title has been shipped instead of completed. I think that's a little bit more clearer, so your customer knows. And you can put some additional information, like let's say you'll receive the order within X amount of days. If you have any issues, that way you can make sure that the customer is happy and they're not like angry and then they leave like an angry review or anything like that, which is not good. And we can save that, and I think you can also click on back over here. You can also do a test preview email as well. So let's just say we'll click back over here and let's go back to that specific order again. Okay, we're going to use the same example. Okay, so what I'm going to do is maybe send the order details again and see if we can get the email and see what it actually looks like, the new template, right? So this is the new order details with the new sort of template, which I believe looks a lot nicer than the default one, and it will include the invoice as well, hopefully, if you have that plugin installed. Okay, so what I want to show you now is how to download the WooCommerce app onto your phone, whether that be Android, iPhone, or anything like that. Alright, so if you guys want to manage everything from your phone and everything like that, then you just need to download the WooCommerce app in the App Store or the Play Store and install it. So we're just going to click on open here and we're going to log in. So here you need to put in your website's address, right? So in this case, it's going to be eCommerce demo. Click on next. And then what you need to do is log in with your email account that you signed up with when you signed up with the WooCommerce services, the Jetpack. And then that should be good to go, right? So on the homepage, you can view your stats. The second tab over here, you can view your orders, all your orders, and you can also click on processing. So let's say a new order has came in, then you can click into it. And here you can click on begin fulfillment and click on add tracking. Here you can select your carrier. Now, if you don't find your carrier, you can add a custom carrier and then you can add the tracking link for them. And then we can click on the type of carrier, for example, Post. Let's just put in the tracking number, right? So the post office or whichever shipping company has given you that, then you can put it in there. Click on add. And then once you've done that, then you need to click on mark order complete. And once that order has been completed, the customer will be sent an email saying that the order has been shipped. All right, so that is pretty much it. Now, if you have any issues, for example, the customer might want a refund, you can also refund from the phone as well. So you just need to click on issue refund. Okay, so I'm pretty sure if it's a Stripe credit card refund, because we've connected the API key and things like that, you can issue a refund here directly. In terms of the PayPal one, I think you might need to connect the API as well. So you might need to go back to your PayPal settings and get the PayPal API key and put it into the settings area to do that one. Okay, so here we need to select all. Okay, so if you want to select all the products to refund, or you can select it individually and do a partial refund. And then next we can click on here. Okay, we're going to click on refund and refund, and that's going to process. Okay, so your customer will also be sent an email saying that has been refunded. Okay, so once that is done, then here you can also view your products and you can manage your products. So for example, you can click the stock and change the stock levels. You can also manage the description, and you can also change the price and set in the sales price as well. Okay, so it's really good and really efficient. So you don't have to log into your WordPress website every day, and then you can go over here. You can also manage your reviews as well. So if there's any reviews coming in, then you can click into it, you can approve it, you can trash it, and you can, I'm not sure if you can edit the reviews. So you can actually edit the reviews in the WordPress dashboard area, but I'm not sure if you can do it here. I think that is pretty much it with this app. All right, so you can click on the top here, click on settings, and here you can manage your notifications. So you can set in the new order alerts. So generally I don't have any other alerts, I just have the new order alerts. And then if you want to turn on the sound, then you have to do that for your phone. And I think that is pretty much it, right? So I'm going to jump back into the computer and show you guys how to really enhance the experience for your customer. So I want to show you how to customize certain things. Now you can go out and literally start selling right now, like everything is complete. But I think this bonus section of the video is really going to help you out, and you might want to subscribe, and then maybe you can come back to it when you actually need it, right? So yeah. Okay, so we're going to start off with the contact page. Now what you want to do is make sure to download the template onto your desktop. Now I just want to remind you guys that sometimes it might automatically unzip into your text file, so you might need to right click and compress it back into the zip file. So we need to go back over to our website and click on turn on builder, and here we just click on import from file. Okay, and then we choose the file. So this one's going to be the contact page. Click on open, and that's going to take a few seconds to load up. So the only thing that I want to go through here is you want to make sure that you have the contact form plugin installed. So it's in the description below. You want to make sure you install that as a plugin, and then it will appear here. So this is the plugin and this is the add-on. Okay, so click into it. So you want to make sure that it's sending to your email and not my email. Okay, or you can send it to the admin's email, which is the admin of this website, which is generally your one. Okay, or you can send it to whichever email that you want. So here you can just fully customize anything that you want, including the form fields like that. And also you can click on the styling tab and general, and you can really customize how you want it to look. Okay, so you can do that by yourself. And the only thing I want to show you now is save it. Is you want to make sure you go to the back end, or you can go to edit page if you've closed the builder. You want to scroll down to content width and select full width and update, right? So that's going to remove the white spacing, and you're going to do that for every page, right? Now, what we want to do once that is done, then you can view the page and check it, right? So that's looking pretty good. Then if we click on track my order, so if you want a tracking page for your customers to where they can track their orders, so for example, they put this in and they click on track, then they'll be able to see if you've shipped it or not. Okay, and then click on this link to see the tracking on the actual website that you've set in. Okay, so let's say for example you want to do that, then what you need to do is you want to add new and add a new page. So you can call that page anything that you want, like tracking, track my order, really anything that you want. So I've just called it tracking, right? Now once you have that page, then you can just turn on the builder and go back to my website, and then you can download the template as well. Okay, so download the template and install it over here. So the only thing that I want to share with you guys is this layout is very simple, right? The only thing that we really need is if we click into that, it's this shortcode over here, right? So if you use this shortcode on anywhere on your website, it will sort of provide this tracking thing over here. So you can literally add it to any page. Then the next thing I do want to show you is also the My Account. Okay, so if you want a My Account like that, so sometimes you might have the default one where you don't have the hero image on the top. Okay, so all you really need to do to recreate something like this is you can click on edit page. Okay, so generally there will be like WooCommerce My Account shortcode over here. So you just want to delete it, right? Or you can just copy it actually. So copy it and you can delete this block over here, right? And then what you want to do is you want to save it, right? And all you need is the shortcode, right? So let's say for example, you want to recreate the layout and you want to delete that block as well, right? So if you want to recreate the layout, you just click into it. And as you can see, I put the shortcode over here. Okay, so I've added some spacing on the left and left over here and some spacing on the top. And then I add my own hero image. And here you can put like maybe like your text below there as well, like view your orders or anything like that. Okay, so you could do like view your orders and more, right? And then go over here, font, centerize it, and there you go, something like that. And maybe change the font size to like 18, and then you pretty much be good to go. So if you want to boost the visibility of the text, click over here, row overlay, add a black, drop the opacity down like that. Okay, and that's going to add a black sort of transparent layer on top, and that's going to enhance the text, right? So click on save, and that's your My Account page done. So it looks a lot better now, and you've also got the track my order, contact page. So all the other templates, so just do that by yourself. It should be pretty easy. Then we can go back over here, okay? Okay, so now what I want to show you is how to customize the cart page and the checkout page. Right, so by default, I personally think it's not too bad. It's very, very simple and minimal and pretty nice, honestly. So you can actually go over and click on edit, right? You can do the same thing as what we did before. So you can take the shortcode and put it in a text module in here, and then you can really customize it with the hero section and whatever that you need. But there's also another thing that I do want to show you guys, which is the WooCommerce, I think, blocks, and adds a new different cart look. Right, so we can go to the plugins over here, and what we need to look for is the WooCommerce block. So sometimes you might have installed it already, so you might not have to install it again. But if you haven't, then let's go to WooCommerce blocks and then click on enter. And it's this one over here, right? Click on install now, and let's click on activate. Then what we need to do is we can go back to pages. All right, now what we could do is just go over here. Let's just delete this one actually. Delete the whole, maybe delete the whole block. All right, let's click over here. We're going to search for cart and click that. All right, and that's going to add that in. Okay, so I think that's pretty cool. Right, then what we could do is click on update. And then we can click over here and then click into that link. Okay, so as you can see, the cart is not looking great because this thing should be over here. And basically to fix that, what you'll need to do is just go back to my template page and scroll down to the very bottom. And here, the FAQ. So we can click into that, and we just need to copy this code. So it's just some CSS styling for our page. So all you need to do is go back to here, all right? Then go to customize. So sometimes your website might need some CSS styling for certain parts. This is just to arrange certain things. Let's click over here and let's just paste that in like that, and then you should be good to go. So this is also going to configure the checkout page, which I'll show you how to do as well. So I'm just going to close that and close that over here. Right, so that should be looking great. Now the next thing I want to show you is click on proceed to checkout, and how to customize this section over here as well. So here we can just click on edit page. All right, so we can take this shortcode here and we can just delete it actually. So just delete that. Click over here, search for checkout. All right, and this is the new checkout. Right, so that's going to be cool. And you can also customize certain things over here as well. And yeah, all right, so what we're going to do is just click on update. And let's view that checkout page. Okay, so this is our new checkout experience. I think this is the better one, but it's really up to you. Yeah. Okay, so now the next thing I want to show you is click on your dashboard section. This is the advanced shipping. So I'll show you where you can actually customize it. So WooCommerce, shipment tracking. And what I generally like to do is change this status to shipped. All right, so you want to tick that. Then we can scroll down here to the tracking info display and click into that. So I just want to show you where you can customize the look and feel of the tracking part of the email. Okay, so we can click on the table layout design. So this is where you can change it, I believe. So scroll down over here. And what you want to do is probably change the font size, because I think right now it might be like kind of small, or you might want to adjust the font weight to at least 300 to 400 in the font weight, which is the thickness of the font. Okay, and for the tracking link background color, I normally just leave it as default. I don't really play around with the settings here too much because it doesn't really need to be styled too much, right? So we can close that. And once that is good, then I think that it should be pretty much good to go. Okay, so let's go connect our Themify social links. So click on the Themify settings, and then you want to click on social links over here, right? So if you want, you can add your social links. Okay, so I'm just going to paste in the URL. So obviously paste in the right one. I just want to show you an example. If you do want to change and add Instagram, so you can add a link and then you can find the icon and things like that. So let's just click on save. Now, if you want to display your social links on the bottom of your website, then what we could do is we go to the widgets area, appearance, and widgets, right? Here we can look for the Themify social links. All right, so this is the widget, click it and drag it up, and we can put it below the footer logo widget area, right? So you can literally add it anywhere you like, as long as you have this widget. Right, so we can click on open link in a new tab and click on save. Because this is an external link, like linking to another page other than our website, I normally want to have people open another tab because I want people to stay on my website. Okay, so let's go and visit site. So scrolling down, here you'll see the social links on the bottom, right? So very, very simple social links. If you want to display a sort of nicer one as well, you can, I'll show you quickly. So go to dashboard and let's go Themify shop, Themify settings. So we can change that over, I think it was over theme settings here, and footer social banners. Okay, so we can enable whichever one that we want. So for example, this one, paste in the link, paste in your username. So I'm just going to paste in the link. I just want to show you a very, very quick example how you can, add extra things onto your website. Paste that in over there. Let's click on save. And then let's click on visit site. Oops. Okay, so that's going to show a really nice thing over here where you can link it to your Instagram page and things like that. The other thing that I want to show you guys is how to connect your newsletter, right? So collecting emails is really important because you might want to offer sales, or you might want people to sign up for your email list for 10% off. And then you can collect emails. So when Christmas comes or whenever you want to have a sale, you can just do an email blast and you can make a lot of money doing that. So to do that, what you do need to do is sign up for MailChimp. So MailChimp is a free email sort of marketing platform that allows you to collect emails and send emails, right? So you just need to sign up for free. I'm not going to walk you through the entire process in this video because that's going to be another video, but I'll show you how to connect it up. So once you've signed up with MailChimp, this will be your account dashboard. Generally with the free account, you'll only have one list, right? So the list is essentially just your email list with all your customers' emails and things like that. And that will be under audience, right? So all the subscribers will be added here, and then you can create campaigns and things like that. So what I want to show you is how to connect it to your website. So you can click over here and click on account. And all we need to do is look for the API key, right? So we can click on extras and click on API key. And then we can scroll down and just copy over the API key, copy that, and go back to your website. So let's minimize that. And we need to paste that in. So go to dashboard. And then we need to go Themify shop, Themify settings. And then we go to integration API and click on opt-in. So you can use other ones as well, like ConvertKit, GetResponse. These ones are really, really popular. Let's click on MailChimp and paste that in. And then we can just click on save. So once you've saved it, we can click on visit site. now we can go and turn on the builder. Then over here, we can click into the opt-in form. So I've created this form using the opt-in form module, which is really cool. So I think it's this one over here, and you can click into that. So here, select the MailChimp. Here, you can select the list. Generally, you only have one. And you can also change the layout of how you want the form and how to style it. This is just how I did it. I just collected the email and things like that. And then you can really just fully customize anything that you want. Okay, so you can go to styling and you can edit how everything looks using these functions over here. So once we've done that, the next really important thing that I want to show you is how to add hook content and layout parts, because sometimes I think this will really unlock the possibilities of how you design a website and things like that. So if you want to create like a secondary header, I'll show you how to do that. And this is really cool. So click on dashboard. What we need to do first is you need to go over here to layout parts. So once you create a layout part, you can add it to anywhere on your website. So this is really, really cool because you can add, you can create any layout using the Themify builder. So let's just say this is called the secondary header. Okay, so this is where maybe you want to put like $50 free shipping, free returns, any sort of notification that you might want to do. So we can click into the link. All right, turn on the builder. And what we could do, let's just say we want to add in a text over here. And here we could do like, let's say free shipping for orders over, $50. Something like that, right? So I just want to show you like a really quick example. Let's make that into the center. And what we could do is maybe let's add in a background, right? So let's add a background to the row. Background, let's set this to like maybe, dark gray, 222. And obviously we can't see it, so we need to change the font. Let's change it to white like that. Okay, let's add a little bit of padding on the top. And we also want to click into the text module. We want to make sure that the spacing is minimized. So to do that, click on styling, click on the margin. So margin is a little bit different from padding. Padding is essentially the spacing inside the blue box or inside the module, right? So when you hover over the purple, then you'll also see that the padding is in the inside, margin is going to be outside that box. So what we need to do is minus the padding to like maybe 5, or maybe not 5. So sometimes you just need to play around with the pixels. It does something like that, maybe 8. Okay, and click on save, and I think that is pretty much good to go. Let's click on save, and then you can also add in different things like maybe an icon and really customize it, but I just want to show you an example of how to use it because it's really, really cool. So let's click on that, and sometimes you might also want to make sure it's responsive as well, just in case. So if you do need to do that, then you need to click on the responsive styling. And you can also click over here, help, right? You've also got some additional videos here which you can watch as well, and some shortcuts, okay? So let's click on the save here and click on the back end. And all you need to do is copy the sort of shortcode. Okay, so just copy that shortcode and you can add that anywhere on your website. So where I want to add it is I want to go to Themify Shop, Themify Settings, and I want to go to hook content. So if we click on hook locations, this is going to allow you to add anything anywhere on your website without coding, right? So it's really, really cool. We can just look at it and there's so many different possibilities. It just, you don't really need it too much actually, so don't use it too much because it's just going to overcomplicate things for your website. So what I do want to do is maybe put a header after, okay, so after the header, and let's just go over here, add item, okay, so we're going to select header after, paste in the shortcode, click on save, right, and let's go over here and visit site, and then you've got your secondary header, right? So you can also edit it straight from here as well. So literally, yeah, it's just super, super amazing. The next thing I want to show you is your footer section. So how do you make it like a more advanced footer? So to do that, what we can do is we can go to the widget section over here, and you can put in any widget over here, right? So what we can do is, let's just say this is just how I do it, and one way that you can do it, you can put the text over here like that, and let's say you've got your different pages like about, oops, maybe like contact, you got blog, and then you've got maybe FAQ, right? Just as an example, you could do like pages for the title. You don't have to do this. And what you can do is just link it up. So you can open up a new tab, right? And just copy the links like this, copy link address, come back over here, click on link, link it up. And I'm just going to link it up here as an example. Okay, link these all up. Obviously, you should find the right pages. All right, and click on save. Click on done. And what you need to do is, if you want to have it on different footer widgets as well, let's click on visit site to show you what it looks like, right? So it'll be like that, all right? So if you have it like that, then you could have literally anything. So you could have your category pages, you could have different things on your footer section. And if you want to remove this section over here, then all you need to do is we can go to dashboard. Then we can go to the, let's go to, where do we want to go? Appearance. And then we want to go to the menus, right? Because we've set this in as a menu already in the location. So go to footer, click on select, and then over here, you want to remove that and save menu. And then click on visit site. And then it will be gone, right? And what you could also do is, I'll quickly add some more pages. Then I want to show you, also go to dashboard over here, Themify shop, Themify settings. You can go to the theme settings, the, I think theme appearance over here, change the footer widgets if you want to have 4 widgets. So maybe you have more pages that you want, and you want to have just, you know, more menu items that you want to link to, then you would select that one over here. And you can also change the layout style as well. So this one might be, it looks a little bit better probably. Click on save and click on visit site. Let's have a look. All right, so something like that. You might have your things over here, and then you have all the pages. If you want to add some payment icons as well, then what we could do is, I'll show you how to do that. All right, so what we need to do is go over here and we go to layout parts again. And here we can create a new layout part. So for example, this might be payment icons. Okay, and let's click on publish. Once that is done, then we can click the link here or click on front end. And that's going to take us to the front end. So turn on the builder. So it's very, very, very easy. All we need to do is, you can use the icon module, drag it in like that. And here we can click on the icon. Okay, whoops. Okay, then what we need to do is click on font awesome. And here we can search Visa, right? Visa card. And you can do the labels like that. And we can just remove it. Okay, and you can add new, and you can set in the color. So I'm going to quickly do it. Let's say we do MasterCard. Oops, font awesome, MasterCard like that. Let's remove the background for all of these ones. Just keep it nice and simple. And here, click again. Here we can search for PayPal. This one over here. And let's do Stripe. So add new again. Let's search for the Stripe. Okay, maybe this one or this one. Okay, it really depends on what you want. And let's just say that's okay. So you can add as many as you want. And once you're done, so you can set the size here to be small, large, depending on what you want. Maybe you want to change the color to make it a little bit darker. Click on icon, color, set the color to maybe like 222, something a little bit darker. It looks a little bit more modern like that. Click on done, and then we can click on save. So that's pretty much it. And all we need to do is we can click on the back end and add it onto the thing. Okay, so here we need to copy the shortcode. So copy that to your clipboard, and all we need to do is go to the widget section. Go back over here and we'll put it here. Okay, so this is where it will appear. So I might delete the social links because we already have that. Now all we need to do is find the text module, put it into here, paste in the shortcode, click on save, click on done, and visit site. And then we're pretty much good to go, right? So a lot of people do have the opt-in box over here as well. So that's very, very easy as well. Click on turn on builder. Now you can control it and build it from here as well. Let's just drag in an opt-in module and drag it in, and you can literally create it in a few clicks. So if we just hide this and hide this, then you've got an opt-in box. So I'm not gonna really show you how to customize it. It's very, very easy to do. Let's just say we do it like that, okay? Because there's a lot of space there, and you can also change this one to subscribe. You can also add an icon if you want to, and you can fully customize it in the styling, so however you want it to look, right? So let's just say that's done. Click on save, and maybe let's drag in a text module. So we could do like, you know, sign up for 10% off instantly. Okay, and then maybe center it. Let's change the color a little bit to a little bit darker, something like that. Maybe add some spacing. Okay, save it, and let's close it and see how that looks. Okay, so obviously you can customize it even better. So I do want to show you another thing, how to customize the footer section, because you might want to reduce the spacing. So you can click on the customize over here. Then we just go over here, footer. Okay, so here is the footer text, so footer font. We can change the line height, so we can reduce it like that. So I put 10, maybe you would put 12. I think 12 looks decent. And you can also change the link colors and everything that you want over here. All right, then let's click on publish, close it. Okay, so our website is pretty much complete. Now I want to show you guys how to translate your website to any language that you want. It's going to be super, super easy, and I think you guys will really, really enjoy it, because now if your client asks you, okay, they want to translate the website, you can do it for them, and it's going to provide so much value for their customers or your customers, because now you'll be able to reach new audiences, and also it's good for Google as well. So not only will you rank for English keywords, you'll rank for whichever language that you've set in as well. So that's super, super good for SEO purposes. That's going to get you a lot more traffic, and yeah, it's just super amazing. So to start translating your WordPress website, we need a plugin. So click on add new. And this is a really great plugin in my opinion. So it's called WeGlot. Okay, I'm not sure how to say that properly. Hopefully that is right. This one over here, translate WP website. Okay, and click on install. So this plugin is really good because it doesn't take up any of your website resources, right? Some other plugins out there, which is some free ones, which I did say I was going to mention, is the Polylang plugin. So let's have a look at that one. That one is free, but you have to do it manually, and that one isn't as good. I mean, it's still okay, pretty good for a free plugin. This one over here, right, 500,000 installs. So you can also use this to make it multilingual. It's a bit more manual, and in my opinion, it's not as good as this one, because this one is really, really good. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over here and click on here. So WeGlot. It's hard to pronounce for me, I don't know. And here we need to put in the API. So here we click on to the register an account here. Okay, so we're going to put in an email. So this one is going to be eCommerce demo91 at gmail.com. Set in your password. Okay, tick that and start free trial. All right, I'm going to close that. Let's close that. All right, let's go to my email. Click on this and confirm your email. Once that is done, all we need to do is copy the API key. So copy that, and just paste it into here. And here you can select your language. So originally it might be a different language. I'm just going to pick English, and here we can choose the destination language. So you can choose from over 100 different languages, and for the trial accounts or for the free accounts, it's going to be 2,000 words. Okay, so if you need more, then you have to upgrade to the annual plan, I believe. And I think there's a link down below that's going to give you 2 months free. So if you do want to check out the annual plan, I'll show you a little bit later. But let's go over here, and let's say you want to put Chinese or any language that you want. So select that and click on save. Okay, so let's click over here. So right now it's not going to display yet. It's going to display over here. So you can leave it like that. It depends on you, like if you want it to be sticky like that, or I'll show you how to add it up here and also onto your footer section here. So I'm going to show you how to do it here first because it's so easy. You can literally add it anywhere on your website. We just need to add the widget. So click on turn on builder. Okay, so here with the Themify module, we need to click on the widget. So let's just drag it, let's just say drag it over there, I guess. And here we can select the widget, and we need to look for this widget over here and select that, and then it will appear, right? So you can obviously add some styling and add some padding onto it. I'm not going to do that, so I'm just going to click on close. I do want to show you how to add it onto your header section because that's probably one of the most prominent places that you want to put it, right? So let's go over to here, and we can click on menus. Okay, then what you could do is, let's just say you want to do a mega menu, right? So you can do a mega menu as well. Since we're here, you can put in like your product categories here, like under, and you can select mega post, right? So sometimes you might not see your product categories and products here. What you need to do is click on screen options to enable that, right? So if you want a mega menu, then you need to select mega post, and then you can drag your categories below that. All right, so I'm not going to cover that too much. So if we want to put it into the icon navigation, then we can click on the icon nav, select that. All right, now what we need to do is we need to scroll down over here, this one over here, Weglot switcher, select it, add it to menu, and then just drop it over here, click on save. And you can also click onto it and you can change the look of it as well, I'm pretty sure. All right, so let's go back to our home page. Okay, so hopefully that is saved. Let's head back to our home page. Okay, and then you'll display over here. So you can change the display settings as well. So let's go back to the dashboard area, and then I'll finally show you how you can actually edit the words and stuff like that, because not every time it's going to translate correctly. So we do need to fix it manually sometimes. Now click over here and we can scroll down and you can play around with the settings here. Scroll down over here, and here they've also show you how you can add it to different sections. You can exclude certain URLs. So if you're on the free trial, then you might want to exclude certain URLs. You can also exclude certain parts of your website, okay, and things like that. And then you click on save changes. All right, so if you want to edit your translation, so click on edit. So we can click over here and we can review the words that have been translated. You can click into it and sort of manually edit this way, like for certain parts of your website. And you can definitely, like, it's very, very customizable. If we go back over here, we can click on the visual editor. So this is the thing that I want to show you. Click onto that. All right, now you can also click on the same thing over here on the top, right? Edit with visual editor. So what you can do right now is you can hover over each of the different items, like for example here, and you can manually review the text, right? So that one can be ticked, okay, and then you'll be good to go, right? So you can manually do this and check everything if it's good to go, and that's pretty much it. So if you go over here, if you want to upgrade your plan, and we click on billing, so it is free for 2,000 words after the 14-day free trial. So if your website's kind of small, what you want to do is probably you want to exclude certain areas of your website and try to minimize how many words it's translating to keep under the limit. Now, if you do want to upgrade, then you can go over here and click on upgrade, So in the description below, there's a link for the annual plan, which has 2 months free. So you'll see for the billing cycle is 2 months free, okay? And here I'll probably recommend just a starter plan to get started. You probably want to download Google Analytics to track, where your visitors are coming from. So for example, if more of your visitors are coming from a different part of the world, then you might want to get more languages, all right? So here you can just choose it and you can just upgrade, and I'm pretty sure you guys know how to do that, but that's completely up to you. You can also go back here and use the Polylang translation tool as well. That's a little bit more manual and it does use up more resources on your theme and server and things like that. So what I also want to tell you guys is that sometimes you might get an update for the theme, right? So when you do get an update for the theme, you got 2 options. So you can either go to my website, okay, so hoganchua.com/update, all right, and scroll down here and just re-download the theme onto your computer. All right, so I normally update every week or 2 depending on when they update. All right, so we can click over here and we can go to the appearance themes. So you can also get automatic updates. What I'm showing you is the manual way. So we can click over here and we need to activate another theme first. All right, so once you do this and you update to another theme, your website is not going to look like it was before. All right, so it's going to look quite messy. Okay, so what you need to do is we need to delete this theme over here. Okay, delete it. So generally all your settings will retain itself. Okay, so if you are maybe a little bit skeptical or scared, then you can also back up your website with a plugin called Updraft Plus. Now, if you're with SiteGround, they also do like daily backups as well, where they back up your whole entire website. So you can easily do a one-click, restore. So if we go over here, right, we can click on add new. Then we need to re-upload the theme that you just downloaded from our website, the updated one. So update this one, so themify-shop.zip, and then click on open, install, and then click on activate, okay? And then we can go back to our website and view that website. So everything should be back normal, right? So now the second way is to get automatic updates. So if we go over here, scroll down over here and click the link to the Themify membership. So what I've shared with you guys is actually a premium theme, which I've partnered with Themify so that we could share this theme with you guys for free so you can get started to build your own online store. Now, there are definitely a lot of other tutorials which show you how to use the free theme, and for me, it's quite restricting, and sometimes a lot of people don't like that because a lot of the premium functions until you upgrade, you can't use it. So that's why I showed you using this premium theme, and it's really, really awesome. So if you do want to get automatic updates, you also get support as well. So you get, I think, 1 year of support and updates, and you also get the add-ons as well and plugins. So they have different add-ons and plugins over here, which you can definitely check out. They've also got the Builder Pro. So I think that might be a separate thing. I'm not quite sure, but I have the Lifetime Club and it's included in that. So personally, if you're on a budget, then you just go with a single theme, and you can click on single theme and you can choose the shop theme. Okay, so you can click into that, and this is the theme that we've been using, right? So what you'll get is once you log in, you can download the themes and you can download the Themify updater and you can put your license key in, right? So essentially, if we go back to our dashboard, I already installed it. So it's the updater plugin, click over here. And you just put in your username and license key, and then that way whenever there's new updates you can automatically update. Okay, so if we go back over here, you can also check out the support. So you can scroll down over here, you can start a new topic. So whatever questions that you have, generally they get back with you within a few hours. So you can click on Themify shop. Okay, and let's say you have some kind of error where something's not displaying properly, they can basically provide you with a fix. You can also email me at support@hoganchua.com or leave a comment down in the description below. And that is pretty much it. So you can also check out the documentation as well over here. Okay, so let's go back on our website. So what you'll need to do is make sure to turn off your maintenance mode if you have that. So pretty much that is it for this tutorial. You just make sure you log out and And yeah, so please drop a like. It did take me a few weeks to actually create this tutorial, and I hope you guys really enjoy it. If you have any questions, like any sort of requests, maybe if you guys like the video, then I can try and make a second part to this video to show you how to really take it to the next level as well. Yeah, so thank you.